will form the state voice. Electoral roll in South Australia can nominate to serve on a local voice.
Over the next few months there'll be a lot of work, particularly in regional and remote South Australia, with an information campaign to let people know that these elections are coming up and encouraging people who may have an interest either in taking part in voting
on 9 News
to get themselves on the electoral roll.
Labor's housing package is unlikely to pass federal parliament in its current form after debate was blocked by the Coalition and the Greens. The bill would create a $10 billion investment fund and use the returns to build new social and affordable homes. The Greens say the policy must be much more ambitious. A former head of the AMA says the federal government changes to Medicare are not enough of an incentive for doctors to offer more widespread bulk billing. Funds in this week's budget mean GPs will receive greater incentives to bulk bill pensioners, concession card holders and under-16s. GP Mukesh Haikawal says while it's a welcome injection of funds, it's really just a lifeline for those already offering to bulk bill.
It'll help people who are currently being bulk billed to continue to be bulk billed a bit longer, but we haven't actually addressed the core problem, and that is that the Medicare rebate has not really increased for 15 years, and we actually need an independent pricing authority to fix those so they're done in a fair and equitable way.
Trade Minister Don Farrell has arrived in China as part of a mission to restore $20 billion in exports to the country. Beijing has banned a variety of Australian goods after the previous government criticised its handling of the COVID crisis. The relationship has improved since Labor won last year's federal election, but there's yet to be a dramatic turnaround in trade. An earthquake has shaken Tokyo and surrounding areas. 4 people have been injured by the 5.4 magnitude tremor, including a man who was hit by a falling light. There is just minor damage reported. And the life satisfaction of Australians is at its lowest level in 21 years, according to an annual wellbeing index. The study compiled by Deakin University and Australian Unity found a steep decline in how people feel about their standard of living, future security and community connectedness. Deakin Uni's Kate Lysette says the survey was conducted last May when the Reserve Bank started to increase rates.
People aged between 18 and 25, they had the worst wellbeing, and they also had the highest levels of feelings of depression, anxiety, stress. So they were really struggling on multiple fronts.
Now turning to FIVEAA Sport, and Essendon coach Brad Scott has laughed off Port Adelaide's defence for Junior Rioli's off-the-ball hit on Jordan Ridley. Rioli received a 2-game ban at the AFL tribunal after the Power argued Ridley ran into his arm, suffering a concussion.
Yeah, well, I suppose the defence team put up whatever argument they think is going to be best, but it's a bit like Frank Bruno arguing that he ran into Mike Tyson's fist. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Richmond has re-signed one of its co-captains, Dylan Grimes, for another year. It comes after several standout performances across the first 8 rounds of the season. Liam Duggan will captain West Coast in tomorrow night's home game against Gold Coast. Shannon Hearn's out injured. He has an adductor injury suffered in last week's loss to the Tigers. And Matilda's skipper Sam Kerr has been rested by Chelsea ahead of Sunday night's FA Cup final against Manchester United. Let's check FIVEAA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
Ad Downs got a Currido offence, Seacombe Road near Morford Road. Old Nollunga got a crash, Victor Harbour Road near Main South Road causing heavy delays outbound. And Crotton Park got an oil spill, South Road near Regency Road. 2 lanes closed, really heavy delays avoided on the drive home. Busy right now, Fullerton Road at Glen Osmond Road with cameras at Brooker Terrace, Richmond and George Street at Theberton. Dan Murphy's has the perfect gift for Mum this Mother's Day. Shop Dan Murphy's today in-store or online at danmurphys.com.au. T's and C's apply. Choose to drink wise. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
To the FIVEAA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Mostly sunny for the rest of the afternoon, a shower or 2 tomorrow, 20. Sunny for Saturday, 22. And mostly sunny, 22 on Sunday. Right now it is 18 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
On 9 News, SA's top doctor pleads with parents to help curb children vaping. A moving memorial for a young Adelaide footballer who died after an on-field collision. The smart device slashing winter power bills. How thieves are using a high-tech hack to steal cars. And Adelaide succeeds in finally securing future day-night tests. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
Rowey and Timmy G on the FIVEAA Sports Show. Join Jade Robrin in the studio every afternoon with FIVEAA's live video stream. Thanks to Foodland. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Hi, Katie Bridges here, Market Lead at FIVEAA. The Vinnie's CEO Sleepout is back, June 22nd at the home of tennis in SA, The Drive. 2023 will mark my third time sleeping out. I keep coming back to the Vinnie's CEO Sleepout because everyone deserves a safe place to call home, and I know the funds we raise are in good hands with Vinnie's. If you're a business or community leader who cares about our community like I do, don't drop the ball. Sign up now at ceosleepout.org.au.
The FIVEAA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
8 minutes after 4. Welcome along on this Thursday. It's Teams Day. It's Caro Day. Some might even say it's the best looking day of the week as I welcome along Stephen Rowe and Tim Ginniver.
Yes.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Sam. It's a huge night. Don't worry about that. We've got Nathan Van Berlo, Saka CEO, Charlie Hodgson, talk about those tests that we've secured. Caroline Wilson, of course. Brodie Smith and his dad. Well,
Gordo.
Must be a daddy Sunday or something like that. Andy Kay, 40 years at Channel 7, and tell you what, outstanding. He's retiring, but some stories he's got, I tell you what, on Olympics and you name it, that he's been involved in. But you're right, Thursday night is selection night, and you've got to be dressed for success if you want to get selected.
Is that my call?
Yeah. Oh, look who's here.
Foodland barrel.
Look on the Foodland live stream, Facebook and YouTube. Look at Stephen Rowe.
What a sight to behold.
Which Foodland camera? That one?
Yeah, look at them
Get
all.
in nice
I think
and close.
I'd like to see.
Get into your seat maybe, Rowe. Have a look at this. Stephen Rowe on the catwalk inside the studio.
That is impressive. What's going on, mate? You're renewing your vows tonight.
Well, no, nothing like that. Well, Will Goodings on FIVEAA Brekkie every Thursday is dressed to kill.
Oh, outstanding.
Classy
man. I expect that from Will.
Classy man, Will.
I don't expect
not so classy. So Peter Shearer invited me down this week, just down. Well, bloody great store. They used to do mods back in the day.
They did.
They would have sponsored you because you were a good-looking rooster.
No, not at all.
Brodie Smith's an ambassador. Anyway, down I went, measured up. They said, Rowey, we would like you to promote Peter Shearer on the Foodland text in the drive show.
Yeah.
And I said, why is that? And they said, well, we just want to promote that our suits look equally as good on a Will Goodings as they do on a larger type.
Is that what they
So
said?
this is exactly the same suit that Will wears.
Wow, but not exactly the same.
No, but the same cut. And look, you know I'm not a big noter.
No.
But I think I pull this off perfectly and everywhere as good as Will Goodings.
But what it says...
So I'm dressed by Peter Shearer. So I can now go, Jody, I'm dressed by Peter Shearer.
Yeah. And I tell you what, she's going to like it. You even got the little pocket chief.
Yeah, got everything.
Which is very nice.
What do you call that, a pocket what?
Pocket chief.
Okay.
So not a handkerchief, a
What's
pocket
that
chief.
thing
there? That's your badge to get you in the Lords.
No, so to Peter Shearer, well done. They're a bloody good mob. Been around for 100 years, proudly South Australian.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, there you go.
You do scrub up well. Even Peter Shearer can make you $1 million. I love it. Well played.
Even those boys with ball-nosed verandas.
Yeah, well done, mate. Well done. Good to have you here, mate. And
let's go. Let's get into it.
Well, we've got a lot of things to get through. Firstly, Adelaide Crows, they're sort of going okay. We know they lost the last two, but we know that they were right in both games. But, Matty Nix, there's a few decisions to make because young Murray is out and who's going to come in? So you'll talk about the possible ins, and I think he might even rule somebody out.
As it sits, it's probably less than likely going to be Josh. I can't see Josh playing this week at the AFL level. Just the amount of footy or the lack of footy he's played. The last thing we want to do is rush Josh. Keeney's playing some great footy, didn't play last week, so Keeney's still working on parts of his game, but he's a standout player. As far as a key for a key, Paddy Parnell's in good nick, went out through concussion, hasn't had the chance to come back in. Nankervis has now been playing behind the ball for a period of time and showing great development in that space. Will Hamill played probably his best game for the year last week. A number of guys knocking on the door. McPherson's another one. We'll just make that decision for what we feel is best for this week.
What do you make of that?
Well, it's not exactly land of the Giants. If there was a game a key defender went out, this would be it. So they got Gresham's 177, Higgins 178, Hills 182, even Tim Membry, who plays like a tool's only 188, Sharman's 193, no Max King. Don't mind that. If I was to pick from them,
yes,
I think I'd go for Hamill. I'd like to see them.
His run and carry?
Yeah. McPherson was probably the best last week. He's 186. Paddy Parnell did nothing wrong. Nankervis, not too sure he's quite ready. But you know the good thing about that?
No.
He's mentioning 3 or 4 or 5 names all the time.
That's right.
Someone goes out, there's 3 or 4 or 5 names. A midfielder goes out, there's 3 or 4 or 5 names.
All playing well.
The only area where there's not 3 or 4 or 5 names is key defender.
Right.
Now, I thought Borlase might have had a little look-see in there, the new boy, the Irishman. But
he ruled out Josh Worrell.
This is a absolute must-win on Sunday, and we'll speak to VB after the break.
Yeah, I think they'll tidy him up.
Yeah.
But what the opposition coach think? Ross Lyon. Have a listen to him.
They've been incredibly competitive. They're hard, they're tough, they spread. We know they're fierce home and away. So, look, you can't sneak your way forward in AFL footy, so we're up for the challenge.
Can't sneak your way in AFL footy. Interesting take, but
I
Ross always has an interesting take on it, doesn't he?
Water finds its level, and I think St Kilda are finding their level. They're not a top 8 team.
Okay. Not a top 8
No.
at all? Right,
No.
okay. So you think they'll just lose consistently from here and fall out?
Well, I think they'll fall out. There's better teams out of the 8 that can replace them in.
But this is one of the ones...
This is the one that at the end of the year you'll say, you won it, you got in, or you lost it and it cost you. They have to win this.
Because you made a statement earlier in the week, and it's not like you to make statements, but you did make a statement earlier in the week that you named all the teams that the Crows were better than inside the 8 at the moment.
And they
were one of them. Yeah. And
that's not that big a statement.
Well, we won't mention
Well,
the
it will
others.
be if Monday they lose and you can say, Rowey, remember saying this? They'll beat St Kilda.
Well played, well played. Port Adelaide, of course, they go to Hobart to take on North Melbourne. And, Butters, he's in rare form. He's playing sensational football, but he does keep getting some sort of an injury now and again. But here he is on his injuries.
Yeah, footy's a bit funny like that, especially when you seem to get a sore spot. It's just you keep getting hit in that same spot quite frequently following up. So, yeah, it's weird how it works like that. It's just how I go about my footy, and it's what helps the team win, and it's what helps bring my teammates into the game as well.
Yeah, that was Zach on Channel 9. Thank you for that audio. But he's a fierce competitor in really good form, and I think when he's firing up, Port are getting first look.
Can I just say something about young Zach Butters?
Yes.
You can't be too brave, okay? And you can't be too competitive. But the way he plays, he's too brave for his size. And I liken him to a bloke, and you know this bloke, and you would have loved him at Nord, Greg Turnbull. Greg Turnbull only etched out 150-odd games because he was too brave. Yeah. He got knocked out, he got banged up, he got injured, he put his head where others feared to tread.
Hip replacements now, hasn't he?
All those sort of things. Oh, bloody heart valves, all sorts. But that might have been...
Yeah, he was super courageous.
Due to something else. Zach's a bit like that.
Yeah.
And I get a sense Ken's trying to coach him a certain way to maybe not put his head where he doesn't need to put his head. And in the modern footy, the kid doesn't have to.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, but instinct is the instinct, and one way you play is the way you play to get the ball.
Yeah.
I just think he's going to be one of those players that doesn't play to 35.
No. Oh,
if he reaches 30, 31, you probably take your hat off and say, well done.
He's 75
because
or
it's
76 kilo.
That's the way he plays, and I think you're right. He won't be a long-termer because of it. But
too
I'll
brave
tell you
for
what,
his size there.
The years we get out of him, we'll be very happy with. Now, they play against North Melbourne, and let's have a listen to the coach, Alistair Clarkson. He's impressed right across the field.
Yeah, well, they're a good side, Port, and they've played some really good footy. They've won their last 5 on the trot after a scratchy start where they lost 2 of their first 3. They're really, really strong right across the field. They've got a really stable defence. Their midfield, particularly with the injection of Rowey and Butters, who are playing more regularly through there, give their midfield a different sort of look. And their forward line, particularly with Big Dixon up front, they're a formidable front half too. So we're going to need to play some really good footy.
He's a big rap for Port Adelaide and impressed, but I'll tell you what he's not impressed with, Stephen, and that is the Hawks investigation at the moment. Have a listen to this for a backhander.
When the guy who's heading up the actual process actually violates the very confidentiality that he said that we should all abide by, how can we trust that that process is going to be fair? And that it hasn't been fair for the whole 8 months. So we'll just wait and see what the AFL do next, because that's a violation and a breach of what they intended to do in the first instance, and that's the investigation panel that they appointed. Heaven forbid, where's this going? It's just extraordinary that we waited 8 months. There's the game is the victim of this. The game is shamed. Obviously myself, Fags, Jason, our families have been shamed. The Indigenous and First Nations families, they've been shamed. And there's one particular party out there that was the catalyst for all this that haven't been investigated at all. Their governance and conduct in this whole thing, the Hawthorn Football Club, just shameful. Let's do an investigation on them and their practices and see how they go.
Ooh,
wow. Stephen.
And good on you, Clarko. I think it's about time someone called it for what it is. This is shameful. It is a disgrace. It's been handled poorly by, I think, weak people who are probably scared to offend, and what's this cancel culture? Politically correct.
This is directly having a go at a member that was put together for the panel.
Bernard Quinn, the chairman of the AFL panel, he's out there leaking here, there and everywhere, and Hawthorn Footy Club, rightly so.
Stories hit the age.
Do you know what? Fagan and Clarko for 8 months have kept their powder dry, their integrity in check, and bit their lip as they've been told to do. Mate, I'd be going out and getting the best lawyer you can.
Okay, we did say right at the beginning of this there'd be no winners, and it's certainly on that path.
You did, and that's spot on.
Hey, the tribunal will be on soon for the Jacob Van Rooyen case, which we know he got 2 games, and they're trying to, get that one thrown out. We'll see exactly what happens with that. We'll keep you informed on that. Last night I was intrigued. Channel 7's The Front Bar, always a good laugh. They brought up a topic about your first footy hero. Now, it went off on Twitter, went ballistic, and I thought, wow, some of the names and the faces that people were putting up was just such a great reminisce for all of us, I think, and I just figured, well, why not? Let's do it here. 8223 0000. We've got a $100 Barrow voucher to give away, and give us your text as well, and that's going to be all on the unique Homestyle Foods text line now. Who was your favourite? Your first ever idol?
Well, without doubt, for me, it was Stephen Michael, and you would have heard me talk about him a lot on this show, nicknamed T.I., but watching him made me want to play. Now, he was a ruckman. He was agile. He was quick. He was skillful. He was hard. He was everything I wasn't.
How good would he be in the modern game?
He was. But, look, I eventually ended up playing with him. He was my first skipper, and he was everything and more that you do. They say don't ever meet your idols. He wasn't my idol, but I loved him. Yeah. Just loved this bloke. And that made me want to play footy. Now you try to emulate your footy heroes or your idols. I did. The other two I just want to quickly mention, I love watching the winners. I never met these guys, but living in a little country town in WA, I loved Mark Williams, and I told that to him. I loved watching how he went about it. And the other one was Kenny Hunter. So if I had 3, it was in real life T.I., and on TV through the winners it was Mark Williams and Ken Hunter. And the reason for it was their courage and their toughness.
Yeah.
Who were yours?
Kenny Hunter, WA, of course, well, the first Port Adelaide player that I can vividly remember and being my first hero was Trevor Bubbles Obst. He won the 1967 Magarey Medal. I was only 1 year old, but by 3 or 4, I can distinctly remember out the backyard kicking the ball in the air and going to market and say, Bubbles Obst passes to Geneva and all this. I was doing commentary at 3 or 4.
Stop it.
And when I'd kick it up in the air, I'd drop most of them, right? The one I took, they said, and I was commentating, I said, Bubbles Obst takes a good mate. Hang on, we've made a mistake, it's Geneva. He's caught it. So I even made a mistake when I was there.
Albert into attack, but there's Trevor Obst waiting in defence. The Rocket Gibraltar takes the easiest of marks. Down here towards Demi Jones, but it's Trevor Obbs. Obbs takes it on. Trevor Obbs goes back. He's played a great game in defence today for Port.
He was a little rocket
Yeah,
Gibraltar
good.
back there, and a great player, great fella too. It was a pleasure. And, you know, you wouldn't know this, a lot of people wouldn't know, but Brad Ebert's grandfather.
There you
How's
go.
that? Yeah, in the Ebert-Obster line there. So, and of course, Tanya, his daughter, coaching the Thunderbirds.
There you go. Footy heroes. We've all got one. Love to hear yours. $100 what? Barrow Hotel Group.
Yes,
Get
correct.
to it.
Cracking prize. And, of course, make sure you're hopping on the Foodland live stream today on our Facebook and YouTube, because Rowey's well fitted out by Peter Shearer. If you're big or small, tall or short, without proper fitting, your suit won't look that good. So get your suit fit to you perfectly, as always, at Peter Shearer Menswear. petershearer.com.au. On the show today, Caroline Wilson at 5 o'clock. Brodie Smith in the studio with his old man Gordo, which is going to be a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Crows assistant Nathan Van Berlo, Saka president Charlie Hodgson. We've got the Adelaide Oval tests locked in for the next couple of years. Long-time Channel 7 boss Andy Kay. And I feel like you've got something to say before we go to the break, Tim.
Just a unique foods.
What have we got already?
You got a cashy on, Rowey.
Oh, no.
There you go.
22 after 4. Take your calls next.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
The all-new Amarok is finally here at Southern Volkswagen Ranella. The all-new Amarok is in stock and ready to test drive. Don't delay. Call Southern Volkswagen now and test drive today. Just 25 minutes from the CBD. Only at Southern Volkswagen. LVD 152780.
Stay warm this winter at Harvey Norman. Cozy up with the best in heated blankets and throw rugs, available in all sizes. Defrost by the fire with an electric fireplace with traditional and modern designs to choose from. Or keep the entire house warm with the latest panel, column and fan heaters from all the big brands. No matter the room, Harvey Norman has a solution for you and your home. Stay warm this winter and shop at Harvey Norman.
You might think having thousands of POWs is excessive, but that's not what the team at Parafield Airport Liquor Store think, because that's how many they have. Sure, they might be made up of over 200 gins, 300 craft beers, 500 whiskies from around the world, and over 2,000 wines. But they're some of the best pals you can have, and they're always looking for more. Parafield Airport Liquor Store. Pals, next to Roulette's Tavern, Kings Road, Parafield.
Go Vita, your local health food shops. Over 30 years health and wellness experience and over 300 natural health practitioners specialising in you.
Hi, I'm Wayne from Go Vita Mount Barker. This month we have a great offer on Nutrivital Homeopathics Melatonin 30C tablets. Right now, 130 tablets are only $12.50. That's a massive 40% off the regular price. Always read the label and follow directions for use.
Go Vita, Colonnades, Fairview Green, Marion, Mount Barker, Manopara, Semaphore and Tanunda.
Aldi has a lamb leg roast, lamb leg roast, lamb leg roast, an Aussie lamb leg roast for only $11.99. Per kilo! Aldi, good, different.
Barnsey here from Barbecue Adelaide, Weber Stores. Are you having a killer feed for Mother's Day and need some inspiration? Well, come see me at Barbecue Adelaide Weber Stores for everything barbie, rubs, spices, or just some advice. Or do the right thing and get your mum a brand new Weber or some Yeti gear for Mother's Day. So, for everything barbie this Mother's Day, head down to Barbecue Adelaide Weber Stores, James Cross and Mile End, and prepare to get lit.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes after 4. We'll get to some of your calls and texts on the unique Homestyle Food text line in just a moment. But first, your traffic. For your chance to win a $4 million grand prize, visit homelottery.com.au.
At Prospect, got a crash Main North Road near Regency Road. McLaren Bar, broken down car there. Victor Harbour Road near Seaview Road with a lane closed. And Croydon Park, got a nasty oil spill there. South Road near Regency Road. Got 2 lanes closed. Really heavy delays. Avoid if you can. Busy right now, Fullerton Road at Glen Osmond Road with cameras Hardies Road, Torrensville and George Streets at Theberton. Bunnings can help you spoil mum for less this Mother's Day. Brighten Mum's Day with a wide range of gift ideas from pots, plants and more. We'll pick up a Bunnings gift card for the perfect gift. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Looking for your first footy hero. We're going to the lines. We've got Russell on the line. G'day, Russ.
G'day, Timmy. My first hero was probably Alex Jesaulenko. I kind of liked footy and in South Australia and so forth. But even back then, it in the black and white days, would watch the VFL. I don't think it was the Winners back then, but it was one of the TV stations was showing, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then eventually, when the state teams would play, you'd get Jezza at full forward, generally at full forward. That's how powerful the Victorians were. They wouldn't play him on the ball or anything. And I remember he kicked 10 goals, one on, I think it was Ian Crone from Central District, who must still be having nightmares of poor bugger. But if they, and I still, because I'm a Port supporter, I reckon, even at 11 years old back then, if they put Ron Alloway on him, who was really stubborn and a little bit bitter, it wouldn't have happened. And that was a very close game. I reckon it was only 4 points in it at the end. I reckon South Australia would have won it, actually, if they put Ron Alloway there. But anyway, poor old Ian Crone. They have nightmares to this day, I guess.
Yeah, well done,
Russ. Russ, well played. Got Lauren at Morphettville. Okay, Lauren, who's your first footy hero?
Well, the very first one, of course, was Eric Freeman. My sister and I loved him, and he gave us a signed portrait that we loved. But when you look at it, he worked at the Bank of SA.
That's right.
And then of course, Russ came along.
Yes.
And even in the book, geez, it's been worth it. Russell writes about how. He actually asked us, because Eric's going off to play for Australia with cricket, so not only was he great at football, but cricket too, he said, I can shift into the forward line and I can play there, so, I'll be a good full forward. So, yeah, it's sort of ironic, I guess, picking those two, but, yeah, when you talk about Ron Alloway and Bubbles, both wonderful players that I still remember seeing from a very little girl, so... Yeah,
well done.
Beautiful,
Thanks,
Lauren. Thanks for your memories. Got Trevor. G'day, Trev.
How are you guys?
All right,
Look, I'm only a little bloke, and I used to love Robert 80.
Yes.
And I tried to do my game on his, but then later on it was Brian Bucky Cunningham.
Wow.
He just could do everything, that little bloke.
Oh, he was elite, left
Both
and right.
sides,
Amazing
pure
class. Incredible. Rosemary. G'day, Rosemary. Who was your first footy hero?
Hello, Tim and Rowey. My first, the one I used to have a poster of on the back of the door was Bob Hank.
Ah, what a legend.
Yes.
And a gentleman too.
Oh, well, North Adelaide and and back in those eras, if you went out to play football, some of them weren't dirty.
No, that's right.
And then it became Barry Robran.
Yes.
Then it became John Copp, Liptak.
Right. Yeah, righty-o.
Well done.
And now it's the whole Crows team.
Okay. Well, generally you only can have one, but we're not going to put that in.
We got the first one.
Hello, Warwick.
G'day, guys.
Footy hero.
I'm a bit your vintage, Timmy, and obviously Lawrence as well, because Fritzy was mine as well.
Yeah.
Number 18, as a kid growing up. And funnily enough, one of my most endearing memories of him, and it's probably not the greatest of games, but I think it was the 66 grand final. He'd come back from the Caribbean playing for Australia and came into the side sort of in the finals, and he was wearing contact lenses. And obviously some part of the game he lost his contact lens in the goal square, and there was he on hands and knees along with one or two of the trainers trying to find this damn contact lens sort of thing.
Good luck putting that in with Hunt. Yeah, well done. Keep them coming in. First footy hero, got a heap of unique homestyle foods text here. This one, Shane from North Haven. My hero was, and still to this day, Scotty Hodges. Met him when he was 42 at a book signing, and he could barely speak. You get a lot of that. What about this one? What do you call Stephen Rowe in a suit? Question mark.
The
defendant. It's not even funny, Tim.
Goodness. I'm not laughing.
In a Peter Shearer suit, I think I look a little bit similar to Al Pacino.
Oh,
my favourite actor.
Yeah, Al wouldn't be happy with that.
Oh, wouldn't he?
Well, you could do that. You could do the Victoria coffee ad that he did. Remember that?
Yeah, that's true. Oh, it could do. It's very rare that I can wear a suit and feel comfortable in it, because when you're a bit chubby, it's, your neck's fat, your gut, all that. I feel so comfortable in this, sitting here.
Jenny says on the Foodland live stream, you're looking very swish. Jack says you're going for the job of Prime Minister, you look that good.
I look elite. I've done the...
Or a cashy.
Or a cashy.
Which camera do I look down the food?
There's 4 of them, so one of these.
Stop!
That one there.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Yeah. It's the wrong one.
He's not even got the right one. 4:31, the Jacob Van Ruin appeal hearing has just begun, so we're going to keep you abreast of that throughout the show.
Done.
Headlines time, and we'll have Nathan Van Berlo from the Crows next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, Kerry Turner with the latest news headlines. Australia's Trade Minister has arrived in China as part of a push to restore $20 billion in exports to the country. SA Health is warning of the dangers of children and e-cigarettes. Researchers have developed a peanut patch to help toddlers overcome peanut allergies. And in sport, Hawthorn insists it is cooperating with the AFL and the independent panel's investigation into racism allegations. Let's check 5AA traffic.
At Prospect, got a crash Main North Road near Regency Road. McLaren broken down car there. Victor Harbour Road near Seaview Road with a lane closed. And Croydon Park got an oil spill. South Road near Regency Road. Got 2 lanes out of action. Really heavy delays, avoid if you can. Busy right now, Fullerton Road at Glen Osmond Road with cameras on the drive home. Brooker Terrace, Richmond and Hardy's Road at Torrenceville. Shopping is so much easier when you use the Coles app. Plan ahead to see your savings. Create an in-store shopping list to help you stick to your budget. Download the Coles app today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
And the 5AA forecast down to 10 tonight, a possible shower tomorrow, 19. More news at 5 o'clock and as it happens on 5AA.
Shane here from Adelaide Exposed Concrete. It was really simple. We were introduced to Ryan. He came out and seen us at our premises, which was great. So we didn't have to come in. He came out and seen us. Friendly, understanding what we were looking for, wasn't pushy, wasn't like one of these salesmen that comes in and just wants you to sign the dotted line. Gave us the opportunity to talk about what we wanted. And from there, the process was quite simple. Came in, saw the rest of the people that work at 5AA, sorted out some great radio ads, and from there it's just grown into what it is today. The process is really simple. It's not daunting, it's not hard. The people that work here make it very simple and very easy to understand for anybody.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit 5AA.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link.
Need a forklift? Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift. Toyota is the world's #1 forklift brand with a great range of pallet jacks, walkie stackers and reach forklifts right up to their leading Toyota counterbalance forklifts. Legendary reliability and safety with cleaner, greener electric options. Toyota can tailor the right forklift solution for you. It's all part of the Toyota forklift advantage. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au. Get a Toyota forklift.
It's time to raise the bar. If you're organising an event, anything from a small meeting to a grand gala, you'll know there are many things to consider. So trust the experts at Adelaide Convention Centre to help you elevate your vision. With the support from our team at every stage, you'll be amazed at what can happen in turning each aspect into an unforgettable experience for both you and your guests. Contact our team and discover the magic to elevate your vision at Adelaide Convention Centre.
When you've been around for over a century, you know a thing or two. And Business SA and Ray White have almost 300 years between them. So when an alliance is formed between Business SA and Ray White Business Sales SA, they're bringing all their experience to your business, making sure it's in top shape, whether you're buying, selling, or somewhere in between. So go on, touch base with the experts. Search Ray White Business Sales SA. Proudly partnered with Business SA.
Australia's constitution is 122 years old and still doesn't recognise Indigenous Australians. This year, we have a chance to fix that and give Indigenous Australians a real say in their future. To find out more, visit yes23.com.au. Join us.
Authorised by Dean Park and Australians for Indigenous Constitutional Recognition Limited, Sydney.
Cold mornings. A nice hot shower. If your hot water stops, give Ken a call. Ken Hall Plumbers, your local plumbers since 1983. Hot water replacement? Give Ken a call. 8364 5855.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
24 minutes to 5. Rossdale Homes, the custom two-storey split-level specialist. Caroline Wilson's going to join us after 5 o'clock, and Brodie Smith's in the studio with his old man at 5:30.
A little bit of Neil Diamond gets you in the mood, doesn't it?
Good Lord.
I reckon my next guest will be a bit of a Neil Diamond man. Big game Sunday. Big game v St Kilda at home. The match the Crows go into as favourites, and I'm that proud of my club that I can now say that with confidence. Joining us, midfield manager Nathan Van Berlo. VB, welcome.
Good afternoon, guys. Thank you for having me on.
You'd like a little bit of Neil Diamond. Did you hear that little crackling rosy as we come in?
Oh, I didn't mind it, Rowey. I much preferred the guest that's coming up there with Gordon Smith and Brodie Smith.
Oh, no.
David for you.
I don't want him singing in here, VB.
Now give us some mail. Apparently in the Dads and Lads run,
yes.
Gordo came out in Lycra and fluoro boots. Can you confirm nor deny that?
I can absolutely confirm that.
Oh, no.
And I can also say that he was first to the after function and last to leave.
Oh, no.
You can fill the in-betweens in that.
None of that surprises me. Not one bit.
You'll enjoy the chat, I'm sure, with Gordon.
Well done. We heard this week, Burnsy spoke earlier in the week saying it was going to be a bit easier week. I'm not saying the boys have hit the brick wall. A few of the boys jaded. Are you starting to feel the rigours of the season, VB?
Oh, I think, Roy, around this time of year, each season, you do have some players that need to get managed slightly differently, whether it be through training loads or corkies or tendon issues, etc. So there's a couple of guys that today, I think Tom Duday, Jordan Dawson, Joshua Shelley were slightly managed in and out of our session, but that doesn't mean that they're in any, doubt of not playing. It's just a matter of how we manage them to get them best right to perform this weekend. So I dare say most clubs around the comp are in that stage at the moment, so a chance here to give them a lighter week in certain regards.
Yeah, where Burjo earns his money. Murray out, sadly for him. God, I've loved his season, his development. Who's in?
Yeah, look, we've got a number of options there we can go with Muzz. And we're really loving what we see from Josh Wall at SANFL level, although he's only played the 1.5 games at SANFL level, so we'll probably look to leave Josh at SANFL level moving forward for another week at least, and then see, how his form stacks up. But there's a number of other guys in contention around. You can mention Mark Keane as a key back, Paddy Parnell, Luke Nankervis, Will Hamill, Andrew McPherson. All those 5 guys have played some really strong footy the last couple of weeks, so we do have, I guess, an option of going smaller or taller, based on the fact that we've got Max Michaelani and Tom Duday who can play both tall and small. So we had a good chat this afternoon at match committee level, and we believe we've gone with a mix that can help us this weekend.
They beat some of the other players in the sample at the moment, going well. Can you give us a bit of a read on Schomburg, Ball Ace, Berry?
Yes, all three of, again, the sample team, we've been very fortunate to have had a really strong list, and they've been playing some really strong footy. They've got a big test this weekend against Sturt, but those 3 that you mentioned, Harry's been, in and out of the side at various stages already this season, but he's still continuing to develop his game, Harry. But what I am loving is when he goes back and he's playing at SANFL level, he's playing above the level, which 12 months ago I don't think he was playing at that level. So he's really comfortable at the level below, and we're going to see that transitioning into his AFL footy sooner rather than later. Sam Berry, look, we sent Sam back a few weeks ago after being managed just to find his best form that he had in pre-season, and on the weekend he played some outstanding footy, bringing his pressure around the contest, his tackling, his ability to get from inside to out is one of his biggest strengths. So we started to see that from Sam on the weekend, which was really pleasing. And James Borlace has been, you can go back probably 12 months with James. He's been rock solid in defence, and he's been one that's name's been thrown up a number of times at selection level through really solid form.
Terrific. Hey, Ross Lyon, the opposition coach, he had a lot of praise for you guys, very competitive, but one thing he did mention, he said they spread really well. That's obviously a concentration of your area, making sure you get out from stoppage.
Yeah, look, we've had a good look at them too, and we've got a great respect for the way they've been going about their business this season as well. But yeah, one of our strengths this year has been our ability to, challenge teams with the way that we use our work rate to our advantage. This weekend, though, we're probably preparing more for a bit more of a fight, to be honest, in terms of the way that the game's going to be played out. the way that St Kilda likes to defend, the way that they play their game is going to mean that it's going to be a tightly held contest. And, Ross Lyons teams this year and in the past have always been super strong defensively, very disciplined. And it's what we've seen from the Saints to date this year. So it's going to be a really strong battle in that regard, and we're going to have to make sure we earn every shot on goal that we get this week.
It's attack v defence, I think. The game needs attack to prevail, VB, so no pressure. The entire AFL community want attack to beat line, because we tend to copy what successful coaches do. They're not that good, St Kilda, surely.
Oh, well, yeah, they are, Rowey. Proof has been in the way they've been performing this year, and it's off the back of their defence. And they probably could have kicked a lot straighter last weekend, and everyone will be talking probably more about their offence as well. But look, they are really hard to play against from a contest and defence point of view, which, again, we go back to Ross's philosophies and the way that he coaches, and that's been a hallmark of his teams in years gone by. So going to be a big challenge for us. And our offence has been one of our strengths this year, so we will lean to that at different stages in the game. But we've also been really aware that our offence has at stages really helped out our defence as well. So a matter of trying to find that balance, but it's not going to come easy this weekend.
Yeah, play brave, take them on, F1 style, will you? Or?
Yeah, look, at different stages, definitely if the opportunity presents. We will still try and play our game, but obviously having respect is the way that they go about it and the way that they try and close the game down. So we've looked at them long and hard, and we think there's ways that we can try and expose that. But it's also, a bit of understanding. Let's not get too frustrated if it doesn't pan out to be the game that we, I guess, have been playing in the last previous weeks. It might be a bit more of a grind at stages, but we'll bunker down and we'll get to work no matter what the game looks like.
Forecast fine, track fast.
Yeah.
Definitely would suit your style, I would imagine.
It would, yeah. It's sort of, last weekend...
I'm thinking Carlton, gather round. That's what I'm thinking.
A bit more, yeah. So we hope it'd be nice to get off to a start like that, Timmy. So we'll see how we go. But it looks like it's going to be cracker conditions for footy. St Kilda as well. Look, they've been playing at Marvel Stadium a fair bit too, so that's near on perfect conditions every week as well. So hopefully our boys can get the game on our terms more often than not, which we know we can play that exciting brand if we're allowed to.
Hey, VB, we've just been doing a bit of a phoner. Just was the boys on the front bar put this out there. Your first football hero. Who was yours?
Ooh.
Mine was Chris Mainwaring when I was growing up.
Yes.
Well, West Coast Eagles, great.
Wingman.
I love Mainey. Yes.
Couple of
Number
flags.
3, one of my favourites. He was very favourite of mine growing up. I got lucky enough to meet him in a shopping centre when I was a kid, and I reckon I've still got that footy somewhere at home.
Awesome.
So
they're great moments, aren't they? They're great moments when you
they
get back.
are. They stick with me. They stick with you forever, and it's one thing we do remind our young fellas about, and coming through that, one moment you have with a young kid coming through, you might be their favourite player, you might just have a moment with them, but you can actually shape their outlook on footy forever and a day and inspire them to be something down the track.
Great words, VB. Thanks for your time. All the best on Sunday. Can't wait.
No worries, guys. Thank you.
Well done. Nathan Van Berlo there, Adelaide Crows assistant coach. Their squad will come out. Looks like there might only be one change. Don't know what they'll do with Matt Crouch. We'll get all of that. They're going in as favourites, bookie favourites, and I love that, and deservedly so. Can't wait for Sunday.
Just now, produce the goods.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly
All very
right.
well having the odds. Produce the goods.
We'll have the team at 10 to 6 tonight after we speak to Brodie, Smith and Crows and Saints alive on 5AA. 12 o'clock on Sunday. Just before we go to the break, as we said before, the appeals board hearing at the moment before Jordan Van Ruin is happening right now. It's just begun. People are saying online, if you think the tribunal cases are getting too much like real court cases, you should hear the appeals board hearing right now. Something to do with a tram from 1990 has been raised by Melbourne's KC. This is getting very odd, isn't it?
What is this, Judge Judy?
Very, very strange. We're going back to 1909
Fair dinkum.
for relevance to a football collision. Nonetheless, that is what's happening over there. We'll try and keep you abreast of what's actually happening when it matters. For your chance to win a $4 million grand prize, visit homelottery.com.au. Here's your traffic.
At Prospect, got a crash Main North Road near Regency Road. McLaren Vale got a broken down car there. Victor Harbour Road near Seaview Road with the lane closed. And Croydon Park, nasty oil spill slowing things up there. South Road near Regency Road. Got 2 lanes out of action. Busy at the moment, Fullerton Road at Glen Osmond Road with cameras Hartley Road, Flinders Park and Heaslip Road at Angle Vale. This May, Bob Jane T-Marts have great buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cashback deals with 15 stores located in Adelaide. They'll look after you. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. He was a legend at both the Blues and the Bombers, and more recently called the shots in the Adelaide coach's box. Now, Scott Camperreale joins Rowey and Timmy G each Tuesday on the 5AA Sports Show, thanks to Unique Homestyle Foods, proudly baking for hundreds of South Australian businesses for 35 years. Greatness in the making.
Hello, I'm Lynn Andrews. At Lynn Andrews Real Estate, we've seen a lot of change in the property market over the last 50 years, but one thing remains constant: our passion to help people invest in the future, to build strong property portfolios in commercial and residential real estate. Our commitment to property investment over the years means we have a wealth of knowledge to share with you. We are here to help. Visit lynandrews.com.au.
Whether you're a sparky, a chippy, a fiery or a bikey, whether they call you curly, tubby or tiny, whether next door means a few feet or a few miles, we know the weather's harsh in South Australia. But Olympic Industries carports, verandas and sheds are tougher than most. And if they're strong enough in the country, they'll be strong enough in the city. Some say strong as an ox, others say hard as nails. We just say built to last. Olympic Industries.
Hurry into Ranella Mazda. We're stocked with CX-5 and CX-9 ready for immediate delivery. No reasonable offer will be refused. CX-5 and CX-9 stock must be cleared. Just 25 minutes from the CBD. Only at Ranella Mazda. LVD 152780.
Lads, where are we thinking for our same race multi?
Let's see. With Ladbrokes, we can place one at Doomben, Moonee Valley.
Bet on more tracks and race codes than ever before with the Ladbrokes same race multi. T's and C's apply. See website for details. You win some, you lose more.
Stay warm this winter at Harvey Norman. Cozy up with the best in heated blankets and throw rugs, available in all sizes. Defrost by the fire with an electric fireplace with traditional and modern designs to choose from. Or keep the entire house warm with the latest panel, column and fan heaters from all the big brands. No matter the room, Harvey Norman has a solution for you and your home. Stay warm this winter and shop at Harvey Norman.
Would you like to choose which support workers come into your home and offer your home care support? As one of the few home care providers offering true self-management, Homemade partners with you to design your support plan to suit your needs. By choosing Homemade as your provider, you'll be able to choose the support workers you want from a ready-to-go partner network. And when you find people you really connect with, you can book them again and again. Visit homemadesupport.com.au and book a free consultation today.
Honey, how far away is that barbecue?
Mission update, time is 1300 hours. 4 burners are now operational. Sausages are commencing their final turn. Beer fridge is sitting at 3 degrees. Manual temperature verification. Perfect. Estimated time of food delivery, 6 minutes, 30 seconds.
Okay.
If you take your role as backyard hospitality director seriously, make sure your cuisine cockpit is A-OK with Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens. Outdoor appliances, custom concrete bench tops and basins, barbecues and custom furniture. AdelaideOutdoorKitchens.com.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
11 minutes to 5. Caroline Wilson after 5 o'clock. And if you haven't already, hop on the Foodland live stream on our Facebook and YouTube. Rowey looking very, very swish in his Peter Shearer tailored suit.
Is he? What? I'll tell you what.
Al Pacino, Peter Shearer.
He has got, yes, all in one. But we've got some comments like Pete reckons you're going for a job interview on TV. Jack reckons you're going for the job of Prime Minister, and Jenny reckons that you're looking very swish. So,
well,
good
that's
feedback,
what Peter
mate.
Shearer can do for you.
Absolutely.
Let's go to our next guest. Saka announced a 3-year scheduling agreement with Cricket Australia. Joining us is their CEO, Charlie Hodgson. Charlie, you happy?
Hello, chaps. Yeah, overall, I think it's a good deal for South Australian cricket. If we're honest, it's not ideal to be playing the same side twice in 2 years. I do have some sympathy with Cricket Australia. The scheduling for this year is like no other because there's a World Cup in October, November, and it's the first year of a Future Tours programme. So that's the kind of hand that we've been dealt. But on the back of that, we've managed to secure test matches against India and England in December, the next 2 seasons, which will be great, I'm sure, and also a significant additional funding that will go into grassroots cricket for the state.
Well done. So that 2024 test is in January, and it's a day test. Talk us through that, because we've made that day-nighter our own, haven't we?
Yeah, and we've been consistent with what we want. What we believe is that the best test matches should go to the best grounds that generate the best return for Australian cricket, and that means for us is we want a fixture in the Australian calendar that everyone knows. Oh, that's the Adelaide Test, whether that be New Year or one in December. That's what we're looking for going forward. So part of this agreement also with Cricket Australia was the acknowledgement by them that after this year, or during this year, they'll be going to a fully transparent allocation process for the next 8 years, so that that's what we're hoping to get in the future. This year is a bit of a quirk of the international fixture calendar, and so we've had to move around. There's only one test before Christmas this year because the World Cup finishes in November. And then I think there are some one-day games in India straight after that, so the players aren't back. So there's only one test, which causes the kind of fixture backlog for where we are.
So the ones that are being played, India in December 2024 and the England one in 2025, will they both be day-nighters as well?
Well, that's yet to be confirmed, because I think there's some work for Cricket Australia to do with each of the governing bodies. We would expect that to be the case, but that hasn't been confirmed as yet.
Okay, fair enough. And you did mention about money going into grassroots community. I know you've got a great community team there. What sort of money are we talking? Significant?
Well, yeah, it is significant. Over 3 years, it's 8.4 million. That's effectively a reduction in what we were paying for Test cricket until now. So that means that particularly we have a Places to Play programme, which is allowing us to invest in primary and secondary school facilities so that we can go and put in hard wickets, and then they align themselves with local clubs so that facilities are not just being used during the week by the school kids, but also by the clubs at the weekend, which is crucial for us because we've got clubs that are running out of space and we haven't got enough cricket in schools. So it kind of is a double whammy, and this is allowing us to put up to $2 million over the next few years into that programme.
Do you have a level of confidence Cricket Australia rates us as a venue, as a test host?
And a contributor?
Yeah, Charlie?
I'm sure they do. You only have to look from afar at the Adelaide Test and realise that it is literally, if not the best test, I don't know what's better than the Adelaide Test. And I know that people recognise that. It is sometimes a challenging job at Cricket Australia, particularly this kind of one-off season they've got. We obviously would have made a different decision, and we would have loved to have had our usual slot in December. We know that we go back to that for the next 2 years. No other state has got that assurance from Cricket Australia as yet, so that gives us some peace of mind. But I think it is obvious to all that the test match that we put on here is incredibly special.
Who was your first sporting hero? We've got a theme through the show today, Charlie. Who?
Oh, my goodness. Gower and Botham were my two cricketing heroes.
Oh, wow.
Fair enough, too.
I reckon you'd have to get in line for those two, Charlie. Well done. Keep up the great work.
Good stuff.
Well done, Charlie Hodges, the SACA CEO. So it's a one-off. It's going to be a test in January, a day test. Again, versus
that explains why.
The West
I
Indies.
didn't realise that scheduling was pushing it out.
And we're getting a lot of text saying, why is this happening on the Unique Home-Style Foods text line? Well, there you go. We've had it explained.
Yeah, well done. We're going first footy heroes. Got Karen. G'day, Karen.
Oh, hello, Tim and Rowey. I've never spoken to you before. I listen every day, but I'm never game enough to ring.
Oh, thank you for your courage, Karen.
Welcome.
Yeah. I thought I'd be cut, but can I just say I don't want to be in the running for the prize, even though I'm sure I won't be, your
it's lovely
pick,
of you.
Well, we'll be the judge of that, Karen from South Plimpton.
No, I don't want the prize, so give it to a more deserving. I'm just ringing up to tell you my story, not to get the prize. Give it to a more deserving caller than me. I'm sure they'll be a lot better than me. But anyway, my first sporting hero was Graham Corns.
Right. Tell us why, Karen.
Yeah, because
we're wondering
story,
why.
But, it's a bit of a story. I'll tell you quickly because I know you're busy. But yeah, I was brought up this is back in the 70s, and I was brought up in a West Torrens household.
Right.
But I decided that I would be a trader in barracks with Glenelg. But why I decided that, because there was this boy at school that I really liked. I was only 10, and I really liked him, and he barracked with Glenelg. And he didn't even notice that I existed, and I thought that might make him like me, but it didn't make any difference. He still didn't know that I existed. But since the 70s, I've always barracked for Glenelg, and then, of course, I became a Crow supporter. Sorry, Tim, but yeah.
That's all right, Karen.
And
you can tell me your problems. I'll help you through it.
Yeah, the funny story was I sent a letter to Cornsey when I was 10 back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And you know what? He never replied back.
Oh, he's in trouble.
I used to come home from school.
Right,
I
Karen.
used to come home from school asking Mum, supposed to brought me a letter, and I got bugger all.
Karen, this is not good enough. We're going to get get your email address.
No,
Justin
we're not.
will
We're going to
take
do better
now.
than that. Get Karen's number, and when Stud's on Monday, Karen's on.
Well, but I want him
an
to
official apology.
I want a written apology as well.
How's this text? Reading into VB's comments and the impressive form on the track, it sounds like Murray out, Gordo in. We got B. Smith and Gordo at 5:30. Don't miss
He
it.
wrote that.
And
He did.
The news coming up now, and Caroline Wilson with plenty of news on the AFL front next.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
We all want a good life. Good Life Health Club isn't just good for health and well-being. It's good for keeping it fresh with RPM, Reform Pilates, Arena and more. Good for training your way wherever you work, live or play with over 90 locations. Good for smashing goals whenever you want with access from morning to midnight. It's good for life. Join Good Life today. Visit goodlife.com.au for your free trial. T's and C's apply.
Things need topping up from time to time, including your COVID-19 protection. Even if you've been vaccinated, boosters can top up your defences and reduce the risk of serious COVID illness. If you're an adult and it's 6 months since your last COVID vaccination or infection, you can now get the latest vaccine. Top up your COVID protection. Visit health.gov.au/top-up to book your free booster or to find out more. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Okie dokie, if you're on the Foodland live stream, I'm standing in my Peter Shearer number.
All be upstanding.
And I'm going to stand front on because I don't look as chubby. But this is about this. La Vida, it's the absolute treasure in the West, we know that. Do yourself a favour and pop in for a mouth-watering lunch or dinner. Once you have, you'll keep going back like we do, Timmy, again and again and again.
It is magnificent, as well as the mouth-watering Italian cuisine. The entire range of pizzas from the Pizzeria are delicious. Now, Anthony fires up the pizza oven from about 5, so we're right on, smack on that. So you can dine in or grab a couple of takeaways on your way home. It's a very good idea.
What I love about La Vida is the warm, friendly family atmosphere. Rachel and Anthony, the entire team, they treat everyone like a family, and they truly do. They'll meet you for the first time. You think you've known them for years. Yeah. Out comes the limoncello. Love them.
We'll do like that. It's the perfect place for functions too. If you've got a birthday, christening, engagement, a sporting club celebration, a 30th, whatever, they can cater up for 200 guests at 3 separate different areas. So they are magnificent.
La Vida open Tuesday to Sunday for lunch and dinner, 342 Grange Road, Kidman Park. I tell you, you'll love it.
Scroll. 6 KFC original tenders for just $6.95. Shut up and take my money! Oh, that is the perfect crispy arvo pick-me-up.
Not everywhere and not forever. Only on kfc.com.au and KFC app. Pick up only.
How far would you go for your dream kitchen? And how far would you go to not deal with organising all the trades? How about 15 minutes up the freeway to Balhanna Kitchens by Design? 2, the largest showroom in the Adelaide Hills. Custom build your dream with our award-winning designers. Plus, we can manage the installation and all sub-trades at a fixed price. Balhanna Kitchens by Design. It's not too far to go to make your dream a reality. balhannakitchens.com.au.
Bardsy here from Barbecue Adelaide, Weber Stores. Are you having a killer feed for Mother's Day and need some inspiration? Well, come see me at Barbecue Adelaide Weber Stores for everything barbie, rubs, spices, or just some advice. Or do the right thing and get your mum a brand new Weber or some Yeti gear for Mother's Day. So, for everything Barbie this Mother's Day, head down to Barbecue Adelaide Weber Stores, Jeffs Cross and Mile End. and prepare to get lit.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Down to 10 tonight, a possible shower tomorrow, 19. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Kerry Turner. Concerns about the number of high schoolers vaping has prompted SA Health to launch an education campaign. The state's top medical officer is writing to parents warning of the harmful effects of e-cigarettes. Professor Nicholas Spurrier says children are becoming addicted to nicotine via vaping.
We have been duped in a way. We've been manipulated because all of these vapes have come into our country and are now easily available on the market, and regardless of what it says, many contain nicotine and many a very high concentration of nicotine as well.
Family and friends have left flowers and messages at the scene of a fatal crash at Evandale. A 28-year-old Athelston father was killed when his motorbike collided with a van and burst into flames at the intersection of Portrush Road and Edward Street just after 3:30 yesterday afternoon. His is the 49th life lost on SA roads so far this year. That's compared with 28 at the same time 12 months ago. Australia's Trade Minister has arrived in China as part of a push to restore $20 billion in exports to the country. Beijing stopped buying our wine, beef and seafood after the previous government criticised its handling of COVID. The relationship has stabilised since Labor came to power last year, but Don Farrell says it will take a while to get all lost trade back on track.
The issues didn't occur overnight and they're not going to be resolved overnight. What I'd like to come back to Australia with is a pathway to resolving all of those outstanding issues. Face-to-face dialogue is the best way to get that progress.
Truck drivers say plans to increase the heavy vehicle road user charge will counteract the cost of living relief outlined in the federal budget. The tax for freight drivers will be increased by 6%. Driver AJ says it's going to have a huge impact, which will ultimately be passed on to households.
Once again, they're targeted the heavy vehicle side of things. Prices of fuel go up. That means our cost to our customers will go up, and that will start the domino effect. Inflation will go up again. As we've seen last year, fuel prices reached like $2.20, $2.30, and then we've seen prices go up in the stores.
And researchers have developed a patch which could protect children with peanut allergies from having a reaction. Data shows 50% of children with allergies will have an accidental exposure every year. Murdoch Children's Research Institute's group leader, Professor Mimi Tang, says researchers are trialling the patch on children because they are likely to have better results than adults.
From an immunological perspective, we know that the immune system is much more open to rewiring and redirection in the early years. So there is this theory that if you can treat people earlier, you might get to an outcome. You might be more likely to get to an outcome.
Turning to 5AA sport, and Hawthorn insists it is cooperating with the AFL and the independent panel's investigation into racism allegations. Former coach Alistair Clarkson has labelled the Hawks as shameful. He's also questioned how the process can be trusted after the independent chairman gave details of the investigation to a newspaper. Earlier, incoming AFL Chief Executive Andrew Dillon called for the panel to be respected.
We're just going to continue to work with the panel and all parties and move to a resolution as quickly as we can, but while respecting the process.
Richmond fans have been urged to give Geelong's Tom Stewart the respect he deserves during tomorrow night's match at the MCG. It comes after Dion Prestia called on Tigers supporters not to boo Stewart, who knocked him out almost a year ago. Coach Damien Hardwick says they're just focused on the game at hand.
Fans are fans. There's 80% of the people that would cheer and be excited. And Tom Stewart's an incredible player, sort of thing. So what happened in the past is in the past, and we move on. From that point of view, we're happy to just hopefully give them a fierce contest and, hopefully walk away with a win.
Collingwood's Scott Pendlebury could claim a new record at the MCG on Sunday. If the Magpies beat the Giants, he'll become the player with the most wins at the ground, passing Kevin Bartlett. And in the NBA, the Warriors have beaten the Lakers 121 to 106 to cut LA's series lead to 3-2. Let's check 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Seaton, look out for a crash on Tapley's Hill Road near Grange Road. Prospect, another collision there, Main North Road near Regency Road. And Croydon Park got an oil spill, South Road near Regency Road. Very heavy delays, 2 lanes out of action, avoid it if you can. Busy as we speak, Fullerton Road at Glen Osmond Road, with cameras Hounslow Avenue, Torrensville, and Kester's Road at Para Hills West. Need some extra cash? Now, at Cash Converters, you can get cash on the spot in as little as 10 minutes. Head into your local Cash Converter store to find out more. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
To the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 10 tonight, a possible shower tomorrow, 19, mostly sunny on Saturday, 21, and mostly sunny and 23 for Sunday. Right now it is 17 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
On 9 News, SA's top doctor pleads with parents to help curb children vaping. A moving memorial for a young Adelaide footballer who died after an on-field collision. The smart device slashing winter power bills. How thieves are using a high-tech hack to steal cars. And Adelaide succeeds in finally securing future day-night tests. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives.
Port Adelaide at 10 to 6 this evening. We still have Brodie Smith and his old man Gordo to join us in the studio at 5:30. We've got long-time Channel 7 boss Andy Kay, who's going into retirement. He'll be on after 6 o'clock. And you can hop on the Foodland live stream for Facebook and YouTube because Peter Shearer have fitted out our man Rowey in a very nice-looking blue number today. A suit well tailored to his fit. He looks absolutely stunning today.
Well played.
Well done. Very handsome.
Well done, Peter Shearer.
All right, let's get to our next guest. Caroline Wilson for Harvey Norman Clearance Centre. Great range with manufacturer's warranties. Harvey Norman Clearance Centre. You can find them at 919 Marion Road, Marion.
Yes, every Thursday we welcome Caroline and we just love the topics she goes through. And one of them, hang on, just got to check my phone. Caroline, it's Tracy. She just wants to know when the fixture's coming out.
Seriously?
Any mail? Have you got any mail on the fixtures?
Well, hopefully, as of Tuesday next week, I think I said round 10 last week, didn't I? That was all I knew. Next week is the lead into round 10. My understanding is the plan is to have it next Tuesday. And please, will you stop asking me after that?
Well, Timmy's crying, Caro, because he's got all these cashies lined up. He can now book them in.
Says the man in the cashy suit.
I apologise to your producer, Justin. I actually got a bit impatient today. No, I think it is going to be. I think it's been reported on the 7 News next week, and we always thought it was in the lead up to round 10. Look, like many other things, this has taken far too long, but they've had a bit on their plate, as we know, and I think it's going to be on Tuesday. But sometimes you get a little, something gets in the way and people get a bit annoyed and something doesn't work out. I still don't understand why we have a floating fixture in the final round. I hope that is just a waste of time.
I hope the new snoozer gets rid of that. Might be a good job. Yeah. Hey, talk to us about some radical new list changes in the lead up to Tassie, Caro.
Well, the clubs found out this week that the plan is to reduce every list across the AFL from the number by 5, basically.
Whoa.
So 5 list players on every list.
Wow.
Now, there are a lot of clubs who think this is a good idea, and obviously, there was talk about this over COVID. This is going to be great news for some clubs. It's going to be disaster for others. And 2 clubs that the AFL is obviously concerned about, and so are game development people, the Adelaide Crows and Port Adelaide. Because, look, I don't want to upset people in South Australia, but the Sandful thing just isn't working. And the view is
In
that
what way?
well, I just think it's too difficult in terms of development. If both those teams lose another 5 players, they're going to really struggle to have top-up players. And, I mean, this supplementary players idea, it just doesn't cut the mustard in an elite league, Tim. And I think I think the view is that there has to be, and this is something I think the Sydney chairman Andrew Pridham pushed for about 4 years ago, there needs to be a national reserve, a national second-tier competition. It probably won't work with WA clubs because, A, they've got a better system going in the waffle that suits those clubs. They don't want to have to travel, and it's just not going to work. But I honestly think, otherwise I think the Adelaide teams are going to be really disadvantaged by the reduced list because they don't get the development opportunities that, like, for example, Richmond does with a VFL Richmond team. And it's just not fair.
No, get them out. We're not going to lose anything as a Sandful having them in.
Well, the Sandful will continue to thrive.
Of course it will.
But it's just not fair on the... And it's hamstringing, and this is something the Players Association are really concerned about. This is all part of the current CBA negotiations. And I think there's some frustration that there are so many collective, the balance fund is just not fair, competitive balance fund, in so many different reasons. Money is only one thing. West Australian clubs are filthy because of all the travel. They get no real relief from that. South Australia have their issues, like certain radio announcers bleating that they have to play at Geelong too often. Who was that?
Hang on. Gee, that was an early Caro's arrow. Well, we've only just warmed up, Caro. We haven't even had a kiss yet. Next minute, bang, I got one between the eyes.
Well, before we come to that, I just think the Sandful situation is really starting to damage the list management of both the Crows and Port. So I think that has to change, and I think a national reserves competition is going to help obviously improve game development in Queensland. I mean, they're already involved now, and it can only be a good thing for the two clubs in South Australia.
How soon, Caroline? We're talking 2025, 26?
Phasing, well, it won't be next year, but the phase out of the list down by 5 is going to be done by the end of 2027. That's the current plan. The National Reserves competition, I think there is some, and I think this is something Brad Scott was working on quite heavily when he was at the AFL. Andrew Dillon's got a big to-do list, and one of the first things he needs to do is appoint a footy boss and a GM of football who is the traditional number 2, as it used to be when Andrew Demetriou and Ian Collins did the job. And we've talked about it a lot. We know Brendan Gale's name has been mentioned. We don't know if that is palatable to Brendan or Andrew Dillon. We think it is, but and Laura Kane has done a brilliant job, and I noticed an article about Laura in The Age over the last 24 hours. But I think this job Laura will be promoted, and this person will oversee her as one of the main spokesmen in the AFL. And I think the development, the second-tier competition is it's still a real drama across the board, and it needs to be fixed.
I love Clarko coming out today and having a crack. This Hawthorn debacle, oh goodness, where's it all at, Caro?
Well, where it's at is, it's a disaster, Stephen.
Isn't it?
And we saw the press release the statement put out by Chris Fagan last Sunday. That was a coach who is clearly struggling, who clearly goes to bed every night and wakes up every morning, and it's the first and last thing he thinks about. Alistair Clarkson, I think, is struggling even more than Chris Fagan, probably because maybe he's a slightly bigger domino, and also because the allegations against him are so much more serious. It is bizarre, and I know it's been reported now, that they need this information from Hawthorn because they want to be able to deny the allegations, but they need to know what they're accused of. And it's just extraordinary that they still can't get this information. I'm not sure if all the families who made the allegations as part of this review initially are still involved in the inquiry. But what I know is that, this was something that was organised by Hawthorn. I hate to be brutal, but the Hawthorn were asleep at the wheel. Like, they did the right thing in trying to investigate whether they had racism issues at the club, whether they had a poor culture for the Indigenous players at the club in the wake of comments by Cyril Rioli and his wife and others, but it was a messy investigation. It leaked 2 weeks after Hawthorn got the results, and, it leaked in a big way. And none of the alleged perpetrators, and I say alleged because they all deny any wrongdoing, were given any information before the story broke. And I think Lee Matthews asked me this on 3AW every week, but we all know who is alleged to have done these things. We don't know who the accusers are, and it just gets murkier and murkier. And we're talking about a mediation in South Australia. The families want it in a, inverted commas, safe place. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but it is complicated. And really, as I said to you again last week, Stephen and Tim, Gillon McLaughlin just has to throw his entire energy into this now.
Get it done.
Let me do that with Andy
Get
Dillon.
it
And it's not a deal. It's not a deal this time, because the blokes who have been accused of the wrongdoing want their names cleared 100%.
Correct.
And the families who are making the accusations want look, do they want financial compensation? I'm sure that's part of it, but what else they want? It's just, I just can't believe, Gillon McLaughlin said it was going to be over by Christmas. And here we are almost midway through the year.
It's a joke.
Hey, a couple of times, Caroline, you've mentioned that Sydney is in crisis as far as the AFL game goes. Can you elaborate on that? And you're saying that the AFL are now taking it serious.
Well, I don't think they were taking it seriously before, Tim. Why would you not fixture Collingwood once in New South Wales this year? After seeing the SCG on preliminary final night last year, why would you fixture Sydney against the Gold Coast away in round 1 when they played in a grand final, and their second match was Sunday lunchtime game against Hawthorn? Why was the derby here, the Sydney derby, not promoted at all on television? I mean, the showdown doesn't need promoting, but this is Sydney, not Adelaide. I don't think they're taking it seriously. The crisis is, what is it, 2.5 million people, more than, living in the Western Sydney area, and less than 2,000 registered footballers from junior to senior.
Right. That's the issue.
That's not good.
It's trying to... the GWS plan to cut through in that area is not taking.
The comment by Dave Matthews that the NRL is bigger now across New South Wales and across Sydney than when the Giants started. Tony Shepherd, their chairman, says that they were flying until COVID hit, and they fell apart for a number of reasons. But, you can blame whoever you like, but they did fall apart, and people stopped going to the footy. And the numbers there, their crowd figures are so bad. But not only that, I think, there's no ground. The Sydney grounds are diminishing by the year. And when I say the AFL are finally taking it seriously, well, I think they're contributing, they're injecting more than $2 million of marketing money this year and again next year, more than $1 million in development money and facilities money, $1 million this year more than, and $1 million next year. And 2 days ago, I believe that there was a meeting set up by Rob Auld, who runs game development, but there was, I think Kylie Rogers was involved, the AFL commercial boss, Dave Matthews, who runs the Giants, Tom Harley, who runs the Swans, Tiffany Robertson, who runs AFL New South Wales, and I think there was some real home truths spoken, some robust conversations, and an admission that the AFL need to put bigger numbers, certainly in staff, into New South Wales. I mean, it used to be an AFL executive who ran AFL New South Wales. That doesn't happen anymore. Their staff has been cut, not added to. They say they're going to add to the staff, but it's just extraordinary that 1/3 of Australia's population live here. The game is growing everywhere else. And I know that no one begrudges Adelaide getting Gather Round or WA getting the last non-Victorian grand final, but Sydney have really been given nothing. And the upside is so big. So, but it's the participating numbers of less than 2,000 across a region that has a population 5 times the size of Tasmania.
Just worked out it's 0.0008%.
Do they think it's a reflection on the state of the game at the moment? I mean, players getting rubbed out for what I call love kisses. I mean, give me a spell. The game's not as good as it used to be, Cara. It used to be the greatest game. And maybe they worked it out in New South Wales before we did. It's multicultural in that area. And you know what I'd be doing if I was a parent? Go and play soccer, because that other game's pretty much like it.
There are 24. I think the AFL sits 24th on the top 24 sports across Western Sydney. I think your reasoning for it, if you don't mind me saying, is pretty ridiculous, Stephen. I mean, why is the game growing in Queensland? Why are the numbers better and crowds bigger in Victoria this year? Why are the crowds bigger in South Australia this year? I know the two Adelaide teams are playing better, but that can't be the only reason. Why is footy growing in Western Australia when their two teams at the moment, well, let's face it, they're not exactly flying, are they?
No.
So I don't buy that argument for 1 minute. The AFL Richard Gordo never stops telling us that the numbers have never been better, the ratings have never been higher, the crowds have never been bigger. So I don't buy that for a moment.
Okay, what about booing? Where are we at with this?
Well, you know, if I was, you know, and I will be at the MCG tomorrow night, I won't be surprised if Tom Stewart gets booed.
Of course he will.
By Richmond supporters watching Dion Prestia play his 200th game. You'd almost be booing the AFL system that only suspended Tom Stewart for 4 weeks. Even, you know, he might have carried himself well, but this year he would have got 6 to 7, I would wager. Some people think there's been an overreaction to the Lance Franklin booing, but I think Gillan McLaughlin just realises that he has to overcorrect now for his underperformance when Adam Goodes was booed. And we're not saying he's been booed for the same reason, Lance, but I think people have changed and the world's changed. And it's like Kane Corns copped it for his comments about Tim Taranto. People get lectured now about mental health. And I don't think, I mean, I was at the MCG last Sunday. It was pretty weird. I don't know why they booed Lance. I think it's interesting that it's such a touchy subject that Tom Brown flew to Sydney on Monday, I think it was. Tuesday. And, you know, Sydney even, I think, probably advised Lance, he probably should do a doorstop with Tom, just make one comment, that he did not want to go there. He doesn't want to be the face of booing. I thought it was pretty brave of Jason Horne-Francis to talk about it to me, as he did a few weeks ago, and say that he doesn't like it. Now, it hasn't stopped the booing, and it might not, you know, this week is a week where he probably will get booed, although North doesn't have a huge supporter base in Tasmania, not like Hawthorn, but he probably will get booed. I think that the mob bullying thing is becoming something that is unacceptable to the clubs and the AFL. I don't buy this thing you can't boo a champion, but you can boo anyone else. I think that's a bit hypocritical. I don't know what you...
Don't tell me who not to boo, because I'll boo you.
Do you think you don't like being told not to boo?
Boo. It's part of sport. It's part of the release. It's an escapism for these folk that play their hard-earned, sit in the trenches, and they can just let all those emotions out. Don't tell a booer not to boo, because they'll boo more.
Yeah, we did it during the week, Carolina. It came down to contextual booing. Why you're booing and how long you're booing for. And those two reasons are very important. So if your player goes from one club to another, you get one game to do it, and then that's it.
Yeah. Well, I've got a theory, Caro. If you're in the crowd and the Mexican wave goes up, are you one of the people that gets out your seat and throws your arms in the air? Or are you one of the snotty-nosed ones that sits there in the members and sits there and goes, "Hey, what are those folk doing?" Those folk don't boo. The ones that throw their arms up in the air and throw beer in the air in the Mexican wave, they're booers, and they're 90% of the crowd. So don't tell them not to boo.
I don't mind a Mexican wave, and I don't mind a boo of a bad decision or an act that isn't right. I mean, I was at that famous Tom Scully game. Remember when he was playing for GWS and the guy had the coat on with all the Scully money?
Yeah.
Like that.
So that's amusing.
I mean, that was great theatre. And, you know, Tom Scully copped it. These days, I think people would even be sensitive about that. We're all, as journos, we are hamstrung now about things we can say and write because of the focus on mental health. I do think for me, and you might not agree with this, Tim, but since Adam Goodes booing just took on another meaning for me, and I find it really difficult. And when it's a Sydney player who's Indigenous, and I'm sorry, but it's a bit haunting. And
Absolutely,
I don't like
and I think we were talking about it. It's about stopping it immediately. So
okay, hey Caro, have a good one. Thanks for your time.
Great to chat, boys, and you do get gather round now, so just get better and go and beat the Cats, Stephen.
Well, when you come over for gather round, Tracy said she'll have you over for dinner now. She's very pleased.
God.
Anytime, any place, and I'm sorry it took me so long to get the info for it.
Well done, Caro. Well done. Have a good one. Harvey Norman Clearance Centre, from cooking appliances, washing machines, dishwashers, TV and more. There's new stock arriving. It does weekly, all with manufacturer's warranties. We ran out of time to ask Caro who her first footy hero was. Was it you, Tim? Harvey Norman Clearance Centre, 919 Marion Road, Marion.
All right, for your chance to win a $4 million grand prize, go to homelottery.com.au.
At Andrews Farm, got a crash, Leicester Grove near Curtis Road. Seaton got a crash there too, Tapley's Hill Road near Grange Road, and Croydon Park got a nasty oil spill, South Road near Regency Road. Two lanes closed and pretty slow at the moment. Busy right now, Tapley's Hill Road and Trimmer Parade, with cameras Marshall Terrace, Brooklyn Park, and May Terrace at Lockley's. It's easy at Adelaide Central Market. Shop local with over 70 traders under one roof. The best fresh produce, specialty goods and more. Open Tuesday till Saturday, Adelaide Central Market. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. Tune into the 5AA Sports Show each week for Where Are They Now? The sporting names you remember from the past, revisited. Thanks to Walco. Winter is coming. Save money and get a Walco Guardian pool cover. Visit walco.com.au.
G'day, it's Eddie May from NRG Solar. More and more South Australians are taking control of their energy bills with solar and battery storage. In fact, Australians are taking up battery storage in record numbers because they're sick of rising power bills and being locked into a system where someone else calls the shots. The other huge bonus of going with NRG Solar and battery storage is that you'll be protected from blackouts with an uninterrupted power supply. Take control. Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
I'm here at Cherry Glen Osmond. It's home to the car that everyone is talking about, the Cherry Emotor 5. What a spectacular vehicle. It's light years ahead of everything in its class and starting from 33,000 drive away. It's got everything you dream of in a car. The tech is mind-blowing and it comes with a 5-star NCAP safety rating, 7-year factory warranty and fixed price servicing. If you're looking for a new car, you've got to go Cherry. Book a test drive at gocherry.com.au.
Gordon Acker, Gordo Smith, is in the building in his Peter Shearer number with his Colt B. Smith after 5:30. Just thought I'd announce that in my Peter Shearer suit. Hey, nobody knows paint like Crowies, and I should know because I used to be a painter. I wouldn't paint my Peter Shearer number. No. Here's the thing that you're going to love about the Crowies stores. They have all the answers. And if you've all painted, we've all tried to paint something. Doesn't matter what you're painting or staining, they'll be able to help. They like to ask the questions just to provide you with the best solution for your painting. Doesn't matter if you're painting a chair, a door, a wall, a house, a shed, a skyscraper. Call into your local Crowies store and they will help you out. Whether it's timber, metal, tile, steel, render, wallpaper, your boat, a tractor, a train. Doesn't matter. Crowies will help you out. And you'll love the prices too, okay? Remember, Crowies only sell premium quality paint, top shelf. Just straight up there. Visit crowiespaints.com.au for a store near you.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. On time, on budget, on the job.
Or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
Dream big, South Australia, because you could win big in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. The $4 million grand prize built by Scott Salisbury Homes in Melbourne could be yours. Plus, there's a catalogue bursting with over 13,000 prizes, including luxury cars, holidays and cash. With a 1 in 15 chance of winning, get your tickets today. Join the fight. To see full details, visit homelottery.com.au. Licence in 14364.
Aldi's Aussie Turkey Mince is now only $4.99 for 500 grams and will completely transform your meals. Turn burgers into turkey burgers, meatballs into turkey meatballs, salad into... salad? Aldi. Good. Different.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
29 minutes after 5, you got many reasons to hop on the Foodland live stream on Facebook and YouTube. Just search 5AA because Brodie Smith and his old man Gordo are in the studio, and we'll be speaking to them very shortly. And lots of texts coming in on the unique Homestyle Foods text line, proudly baking for hundreds of South Australian businesses for 35 years. This one saying, "Hi, Rowey and Timmy. I've just seen Rowey in his suit. Fantastic. Like a rat with a gold tooth," says Tim.
What?
Not get that one.
That's
like
not.
that. Yeah, that's always a...
That's disrespectful.
Is it? Oh.
A rat with a gold tooth.
Probably a little bit
Well, it
harsh,
makes you
isn't
look
it?
smart.
This Peter Shearer number makes me look like a Al Pacino.
That's what you've been saying all show. We'll see what Brodie and Gordo think of that after the headlines.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon. Kerry Turner with the latest news headlines. The federal opposition leader will deliver his budget reply speech tonight. Family and friends have farewelled a young Adelaide Hills footballer who died last month. An Australian brewer has created what it believes is the world's first artificially intelligent beer. And in sport, Richmond fans have been urged to respect Geelong's Tom Stewart tomorrow night. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Ascot Park, got a level crossing down Dawes Road near Marion Road. Waterloo Corner, got a Carvey bike there. Heaslip Road near Diamond Road. And Andrews Farm, another collision. Leicester Grove near Curtis Road. Busy at the moment, Tapley's Hill Road at Trimmer Parade with cameras Whites Road, Paralawi and South Road at Croydon Park. The book club is back. The all-star cast returning this highly anticipated romantic comedy just in time for Mother's Day. Book club, the next chapter is in cinemas now. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast down to 10 tonight, a possible shower tomorrow, 19. Right now it is 17 degrees. More news at 6 o'clock and as it happens on 5AA.
5AA Breakfast.
Kitchener. Did you see that story the other day that Lord Kitchener, for his role in the Boer War, there's a busybody Melbourne lawyer who wants to have him cancelled.
Informing Adelaide.
You know, the Kitchener bun.
Yeah, well, that tells you something about how the world changes, doesn't it? He was the option for something that had been cancelled, now he too has been cancelled. Maybe that's the fate that awaits us all.
Now that we're best friends with Japan, maybe we'll name it the Emperor Hirohito.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
Hurry into Ranella Mazda. We're stocked with CX-5 and CX-9 ready for immediate delivery. No reasonable offer will be refused. CX-5 and CX-9 stock must be cleared. Just 25 minutes from the CBD. Only at Ranella Mazda. LVD 152780.
Barnacle Bill, serving South Australia with quality cooked seafood for over 50 years. Each order is freshly prepared using the finest quality seafood. Sumptuous prawns, calamari, mouth-watering butterfish and chips with Barnacle Bill's own tartare sauce. From a snack pack for one, crew pack for four, or for the whole family. Come in and see why Barnacle Bill has been serving South Australia quality seafood for over 50 years.
Fresh from the sea, he's gotta be Barnacle Bill.
Now, Mother's Day this Sunday, so look, make sure you call into Cheapest Chips for these mother-loving deals. It's the perfect weather for slow cookers, so pick up a Major 6-litre slow cooker, just $49, or a Major 5-litre air fryer, incredible value at $89.
I like this, the Glow 70cm wok-style fire pit in rust or black, $79, or turn up the heat indoors with a ceramic tower heater, $79. You save 10 on them. Unreal.
Bargain. Now, look, Mum might love a couple of coral fleece throw rugs, assorted colours, 2 for $15. Everybody likes a nice throw. Or maybe a Himalayan salt lamp. Yes, just $25, save another tenner. And plus assorted women's 100ml fragrances, only $4.99.
And remember, you could win Mum a $1,000 Cheapest Chips prize pack. Just go to cheapestchips.com or Facebook or enter. T's and C's apply. Make Mum's Day at Mother's loving deals at
Cheapest Chips.
5AA's Tech Talk with your host, Adelaide tech guy Richard Pascoe. Thanks to Harvey Norman Computers.
Wearable tech is a fantastic way to enhance your health and fitness routine and hold yourself accountable. The Fitbit Versa 3 is one of the most reliable smartwatches in the game. It's packed with health and fitness features like 24/7 heart rate tracking, sleep management tools, and built-in GPS. Plus, you can receive smartphone notifications and control Spotify when your phone is nearby, and it's water resistant up to 50 metres. It's super easy to use, making the perfect Mother's Day gift for health conscious or tech savvy tech-savvy mums. And just in time for Mother's Day, Harvey Norman have a great offer on the Fitbit Versa 3. Save $100 off the recommended retail price and get it for an incredible $198 in black, midnight or pink. This fantastic offer ends May the 17th.
Check out this great offer at a Harvey Norman store near you. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes to 6. Crows and Port teams are going to land in 15 minutes, so we'll have them first. But you want to jump on the Foodland live stream, go on our Facebook and YouTube 5AA for Brodie Smith, and he's brought in a very special guest. If you need something delivered for your business, don't risk it. Ace it with Ace It Couriers.
Brodie Smith, that was terrific. That's what B. Smith can do.
Brodie Smith! What a magnificent goal!
Brodie Smith on the 5AA Sports Show.
Not sure he gets top billing here. We're not worthy. Gordo is in town with B. Smith. Welcome, boys.
Thanks, Rowey.
G'day, Rowey.
B.
Jeez,
Smith.
you look good.
I am wearing my Peter Shearer number. You're an ambassador, aren't you?
I am, yep. So I did a little photo shoot for him. I don't know how I got chosen as the model from the Crows, but a lot of hair and makeup went into that, but you look fantastic.
Well, the thing about Peter Shearer is you can be lean and athletic like you, or good looking like Will Goodings in our 5AA Brekkie, who wears this exact suit. Well, I think I'd pull it off. I feel so comfortable with it, Gordo. What do you think?
Oh, I think you look amazing. I could probably slide into one myself if it's from Peter Shearer's, mate.
That's a ripper. Now, Gordo, you're here for a specific reason. VB potted you. Your son potted you. Have a listen.
Shot Cairo, he was the only dad in boots out on the track. So everyone comes for a meeting. You know, they've got hoodies on. They just come there to watch training, be happy to be out there with the boys. Dad's got Timmy Cook, the physio, on him. He's getting a rub down. He's got the stretchers. He wanted to take the boys for a warm-up. He was doing some speed work.
Now you have right a reply.
Yeah, most of it's shit and crap. But the main thing is I did try to get Cook to give him a rub down. He just laughed at me like most people. And
Cookie's the physio.
Yeah, Cookie's first. And, you know, it's like, Rowey, no matter what you do, always look good at it.
Yeah. That's fair call.
I get on the golf course, look $1 million, watch me at the ball, you know it's all crap.
Okay.
So footy's the same. Got to prepare properly, get ready for the game. I did try to borrow a couple of goons that might fit the stature. Should have gone to Peter Shearer's. but I did. They kitted us out in the club. It was great. But getting back to VB firstly, you will get yours, VB. There was no lycra. That was crap. And Brodie, my son, I'm used to copping from Broads because, you know, when you're jealous, you just got to take it on the chin.
So when he was a young colt growing up, you make him pull his socks up, tuck his jumper in. I mean, we were always taught if you look like a footballer, you'll be a footballer. Jimmy?
Yeah, exactly the same. But like, I don't like the way Gordy's come in and you're sitting in the Peter Shearer suit and he's made me wear this beanie. So I look like I'm doing a ram raid and you look like you're going on a wedding.
Good brass medals beanie, Tim.
That's appropriate. Did you park your car underneath? Because Timmy will jack it. He might
I will now.
Take a few wheels. All right, Gordo, great to see you. Well done. B. Smith, has it been a lighter week this week? What did you do today? Main session?
A little bit. A few of us got looked after, so I finally played the Veterans card on Tuesday, which was nice.
Okay.
Burjo's looked after me, so I think myself, Dorse, Murph, a couple of other boys, we just had a little bit of a walk jog on Tuesday, so really played it up. But full session today, so everyone trained today, ready to go. We had a longer break, so it was good. A few guys did skills on Tuesday, and then a few got eased in to have a really good session today, so good to go.
Okay, so I'm sensing you're a little bit banged up as a group.
I wouldn't say banged up. I think when it gets to this point of the year, I think every year you start to get a little bit sore, and we've obviously got that mix of a few of us older guys that are getting a bit sore as we get older, and a few of the younger guys are playing a lot of senior footy and they're getting used to it, so their bodies are getting a little bit sore as well. But we do get looked after, as I said. When guys need chop outs, they get them from Burjo. He's all over it. We do the wellness scores and everything, and so everyone knows exactly how we're feeling at all times. So if your name pops up as a bit of a red flag for needing a rest, you get that. So I think come the weekend, we'll all be good to go.
Sorry, Timmy, just wellness score. What's that?
We've got an app on our phone, so every day we go into the club, we say exactly how we're feeling, and if you're not feeling great, they get that information. They come to you and say, what's going on? Sore calf, groin, hammy, whatever it is, or I'm just not feeling great, and you might get a little chop out. So
they do blood tests, anything like that?
Or, if you're feeling crook, the doctor might
pressure?
send you in for a blood pressure, blood test. But we got the Apple Watches going as well, so that we got the sleep, and We've got everything. Everything's ticked off. So
God, if there was a wellness score back in my day, Timmy, I'd have never played.
Yeah, just get
Nor
on
would
with
have
it.
Gordo.
Here we
He's
go.
smiling.
Back in the day, just would have been get on with it.
Does it pick up alcohol in the system?
On Mondays it does.
Well, we do a heart rate test on the Monday. That just a slow jog around the oval. We got heart rate monitors on, and apparently, if you've had a bit of a go on the weekend, does pick it up. So.
Oh no, you can't get past Burjo, can you?
There's no missing that.
Hiding,
just blowing a bloody thing.
Yeah.
To do the breatho Monday.
Just do a breatho.
You should be 0 by Monday. You'd hope.
Yeah. Gee,
God.
We're not working on site. With heavy machinery.
It'll be Red Rover all over for me.
I was talking to VB and I was just saying, like, the weather looks like it's going to be cracking. It sort of reminded me, I said, weather fine, track fast. Sort of suits you guys, I reckon. Almost like that night at Gather Round when you took Carlton apart in the first quarter.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we can do that again. Looking forward to it. But yeah, it does look good for the weekend. And as we know, St Kilda are defending really well and they're setting up really well behind the footy. So hopefully we can use that weather to move the footy pretty quick and get some handball receives and that sort of stuff and get it in nice and quick to the forwards and a bit more to their advantage this week.
I was going to say, Gordo, you'd be good to answer this one. Are you surprised by the team's spike this year? You've been watching your son for the Crows for over 10. And are you happy with what you're seeing as a dad?
Oh, absolutely, because they've been coming on, you go back 4 years ago when Nixie first started, hard first 2 years, third year improvement with a bit of fine-tuning. This fourth year, they're only probably, in my opinion, 7% away from being top 4.
7%?
Yeah.
How'd you pick that number out, you clacker?
He's got a wellness app. He's got
7%? You could have said 10, 15, 20. You picked 7.
Yeah, because there's only a few points, and they're all basic points. So they're doing all the hard stuff, all the attitude, the attitude, but what they're not doing is a simple, basic following the game setup. So give ball, get ball, see goal, kick goal.
There you go, 7 points. I liked it. 7%
No wonder you're the star you are, B.
Yeah.
Smith, with Gordo as your dad.
Can't argue with that. He's not far off.
Yeah, there you go.
Bit of execution will be sweet.
I agree with that. And it is a bit of execution. What I was wrapped with last week against Geelong, you won the centre square. You're a different team when you can win that.
Oh,
and you've been working on it hard, I know.
Yeah, and I think I say it every week. We set up our game off getting the ball forward and setting up from there. So the mids play a massive role every week, and to get it done against a team like Geelong is a big step for us. And exactly the same again. If we can get it forward this week, set up the ground, and hopefully kick a big score.
Now Muzz is out. He's held that back line together with you guys. A lot of continuity. You haven't had many players out this year. Who's in?
Oh, I don't think I can give you that one this week. I'm sorry.
Why? Did they actually specifically say that?
Game, it's Sunday, so I can't give it away. But there's a bit that's gone into it this week with a few different factors. So
we had a look at the team stats from the sample, and out of the top 5 or top 6, there was 5 defenders, wasn't there?
The backs had a day out. Yeah.
Let's do this.
I think they chipped around a few cheapies.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah,
we know it's not Hamill. So look down the Foodland text line. Is it McPherson?
I can't.
Okay, it's not him.
You just keep guessing, and you see
is
if
it
I'm lying or not.
Hamill?
I don't know. Is it?
Ooh. Is it Parnell?
Oh, is it?
Oh, come on, B. Smith. Gordo, you know.
Well, I do know, but
who would you put in?
Why to clean my boots just in case.
They were really fluoro ones in the car.
Oh, mate, they're bright yellow. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
They're in a car. I'll sign them for you later.
You sound like Warwick Kappa. He turned 60.
I might have looked like him last week.
He's spending 50 grand on his 60th. I read this in the paper. Whether it's 50 grand,
he can afford
20
more
over
than
the bar or something, getting all these bands. He's a traffic lolly man. How can he afford that?
Yeah, well.
Like he stop, go, stop,
Yeah.
go. Serious?
Is he wearing
I'm
those
in the wrong
gold? Is
job.
he wearing those gold tight shorts like the girls used to?
How do you know he wasn't in Dr. Edelson's will? He might have been a recipient.
Oh, maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah, there you go. And he said, hold this until your 60th and then put this on the bar. He
Okay.
might have done that.
He might have.
Yeah.
Who was your
High-flying
first footy
days.
hero?
Mine was Stewie Jew, being the port man that I was. Yeah, big left foot. So love watching him kick bombs from 60.
Dynamic, wasn't he?
Oh, I loved him.
Yeah.
Even when he went to the Hawks and he was a little bit overweight, but he just got it done. Grand final, give them ball, kick the goal.
He turned the game, really, in that
He
one.
did, yeah. Loved him, Stewie Jew. And then I moved to Juddy. I was a big Juddy man.
Okay. He needs to wear a Peter Shearer and he might look like me. Old
Yeah, get him
Stewie
in.
G. Who was yours, Gordo?
Oh, I've got two. I'll drop a second one in, but my first one was a good mate. I used to go to school with Martin Leslie.
Oh,
Okay.
First ever draftee of the old AFL draft
Was
situation.
too.
Yeah, 1986.
And then coming into the later years, my mate Mod. So you can't go past Mods for kicking a few.
Yeah, spot on. He
Sort of
would
mirrored
have had a
myself around him a
lot
bit.
of people
you,
loving him.
didn't hear that one, too. You modelled yourself around who?
A bit. When I was playing footy with Hazy as coach, and Hazy had a brainstorm. I was running off half back, and Hazy said, "We need someone at full forward. Smithy, get up there." Ray Hayes, very smart man.
Ray Hayes.
So you played halfback as well?
When I started playing footy after finishing soccer, straight to half back and running, bouncing, a bit of carrying, a bit of a launch, mate.
Who was a better kick?
Then Brodie and myself.
Brodie or you?
Oh, if you take me back to his age, I'd probably touch him up.
Okay.
Ask him if he can do a 50 metre drop kick goal.
B. Smith, can you do a 50-metre drop kick goal?
Yeah, 50. Come on.
Yeah. I reckon Barbie'd be fun with these two, wouldn't it?
You know what? You've got to have confidence. You've got to have self-belief. If you don't, not worth it.
Now, St Kilda, no excuses, is there?
Oh, they're top of the ladder, but
they're the worst second top team in the history of the game.
Oh, that's a bit
Grant
harsh. But
Corns.
No, Cornsey said that.
He said that about Port.
They're going really well at shutting teams down, and as we just spoke about before, obviously when we get our game going, we can be pretty flary and some nice ball movement. So we know that they'll be coming in trying to stop that. But yeah, we're confident we can get the job done. It's a big game for us. It's a must win. So yeah, we'll be flying Sunday.
We're going to get into that with a bit more detail for ASIC Couriers after the break, and I'm going to ask Gordo, did he ever teach you to spoil? Because a bloke spoilt the ball on the weekend, and he got 2 weeks. And we're going to go and see whether he's been let off through the tribunal. The game has lost its marbles, Gordo, and you're shaking your head going, I'm with you, Rowey.
14-6 for your chance to win a $4 million grand prize. Visit homelottery.com.au. Here's your roads.
At Ascot Park at a level crossing down there, Dawes Road near Marion Road, Waterloo Corner, Carvey Bike, Heaslip Road near Diamond Road, and Prospect at another collision, Main North Road near Regency Road. Quite busy at the moment. Tapley's Hill Road at Trimmer Parade with cameras Saints Road, Salisbury Park and Port Road at West Hindmarsh. Follow your multi the easy way with Sportsbet AFL Same Game Multi Tracker, only with Sportsbet. Download the Sportsbet app today. Conditions apply. Chances are you're about to lose. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
5AA Breakfast.
What about the Adelaide City Council? I can't believe this story. We're not talking about the Adelaide Football Club. We're talking about the Adelaide Crows Foundation that exists solely to do grassroots community stuff.
Informing Adelaide.
They get a grant from the Adelaide City Council. They decided that the big corporates of the Adelaide Football Club don't deserve any of this money anymore.
What an embarrassing organisation.
It's 8 months since we had them on the show.
Well, good. I haven't missed them for a second.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
I'm here at Cherry Glen Osmond to take a test drive of the car that everyone is raving about, the Cherry Motor 5. Oh, these seats are so comfortable, and the state-of-the-art tech is worthy of a car 3 times its price. And almost every function of the vehicle can be controlled by voice. Check this out. Cherry.
Yes, I'm here.
Open sunroof.
Got it. It's opening.
Book yourself a test drive of this incredible Motor 5 from 33k drive away. Visit gocherry.com.au.
Thinking of painting and don't know where to start?
We do, because we know paint at Crowey's.
So, visit Crowey's. And while you're there, join Crowey's Club to get 10% off everything.
We know paint at Crowey's.
Now look, buy direct from prawn fishermen and head to SA King Prawns. Now, if you're thinking about Mother's Day, what better would it be just sitting around a table and eating these magnificent Spencer Gulf prawns, I'm telling you. Their prawns are caught on their trawler and frozen at sea, then delivered to their store at Edinburgh North. Now, when Tony and Heather's crew aren't at sea, you'll find them selling their delicious catch in the SA King Prawn store in Edinburgh North or on a Sunday at the SA Farmers Market, Paraka.
Now, switch your ears on, because this is an unbelievable deal. And sometimes people say, oh, Rowey says it's world's best.
You're a fisherman, you know what's going on.
These are the best prawns in the world. There's no doubt about that. Spencer Gulf prawns. Oh, my God. Season's expected to run right the way through till June, which is great. And you'll get the best deals right now on Spencer Gulf King prawns. All sizes, big king, double king, up the, wild caught. Look, they're certifiedly sustainable. 5 kilo of raw prawns, $60.
No way.
5 kilo of raw prawns, $60. Buy 2 or more 5 kilo cartons, you get $5 off per carton.
That's amazing.
There's also 1 kilo bags of prawns, raw or cooked, $15.
Oh, I've got
No. Hang on. I'm going to read that again. There's also 1 kilo bag of prawns, raw or cooked, from $15.
Oh, I've got to get some.
They used to be $60 a kilo.
This is amazing. SA King Prawns. This is why, because they
Wow.
catch them and bring them straight in. Saturdays only at 15 Hewitson Road, Edinburgh North, or Sundays at the new SA Farmers Market, Paraka. If you want to check it out, get on Facebook, have a look.
Watching footy with your mates? Brilliant. But heading to the Adelaide Oval and watching the footy in a corporate box with your mates? That's awesome! Buy any Lion beer, including Hans Super Dry, West End, Stone and Wood, or 4X Gold from the Albion Hotel, Birkenhead Tavern, Lighthouse Wharf, the Excelsior, or the Sundowner in Whyalla for a chance to win. You and 3 mates living large in a corporate box at Adelaide Oval. There's 4 packages up for grabs. You just know it's a Barreau Hotel. T's and C's apply.
Okay, it's the final question in the sports round. For 10 points, jockey Luke Nolan drives what type of car?
It's a 78 Leyland Mini.
Correct.
Mate, how did you know that? Saw it on the hub.
Introducing the new Ladbrokes Hub. Access videos, race day insights and industry experts all in the Ladbrokes app. Ladbroke it. You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. Now more than ever, you need an agent who's not just out for a quick sale. You need someone who can stand their ground to ensure you're maximising your home's potential. There's a good reason Toop and Toop is defying market trends and continuing to deliver premium outcomes for its clients. With a history spanning almost 40 years and a team of unrivaled experience, Toop and Toop knows what it takes to maximise your results in any selling conditions. Visit toop.com.au to find out more.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
8 minutes to 6. Crows and Port teams have just landed. We'll get them in just a second, and we'll get a bit of an update as well from the tribunal very shortly.
Got Port's team?
Yeah, just quickly, obviously Junior Rioli out for that suspension, 2 weeks, and last week's sub, Francis Evans, comes in.
Yeah, not bad. And Himmelberg, Gallant, McHenry and Parnell coming to an extended squad. We know Nick Murray is out injured. Well, no surprise, Paddy Parnell.
I can only see one defender in there.
That's what I mean. So, you know.
Okay.
Playing tricks at about 20 minutes ago. They just put one bloke. Anyway, that's right. Are you a booer, Gordo?
Oh, if it deserves to be there, it deserves to be there. But I was going to ask you about the booing. There's all this chat about the AFL and everyone else and whinging and carrying on. I haven't heard anyone defend umpires getting booed every day. All 10 of them on the over get booed at once. What's going on there?
Yeah, but so they should, shouldn't they?
No, one rule fits all.
So you would ban booing for umpires?
No,
if you're an AFL commission.
If someone's knuckled Brodie, I'd be either over the fence or booing the shit out of him.
That's right. No, but would you ban booing umpires?
If they're going to ban booing players, you've got one rule fits all. It's FIFO, mate. Fit in or off.
FIFO, fit in or
fly off.
B. Smith, FIFO. Where do you sit with booing?
I don't mind that take. Yeah, it's a good one.
Okay.
I'm more than happy than if someone leaves the footy club for the wrong reasons or wants to get traded and go off and leave
Tippett.
us. Go after him.
Kurt Tickett.
At our game, they
Patrick Dangerfield.
We got Texan gets booed every week. Everywhere we go, he gets booed when he takes a mark and gets footy. So it's not a great part of the game. It's not a great look. But I am all for if someone leaves the side.
We had a great text on that, and it basically said, look, if say like a Tippett goes to another club, you get that one home game.
Yeah,
to give him everything
you got,
and then that's it.
Yeah,
because it's about why you're doing it, and then how long you're doing it.
Yeah, and any cheap shots in a game as well. I'm more than happy for the crowd to get involved and
I think people
make the rest of the game tough for
them.
them.
The player probably accepts that as well, but you don't want it to go on. And it was one of the mistakes with the Adam Goods thing. They just didn't stop it. They didn't put a stop to it.
The planned booing is not where you want to be. Where every week you're getting booed, just a planned booing for whatever reason.
No premeditation.
Yeah.
What about Swans attacking little Nick Dacos, the little teenager, and bumping into him and rustling his hair. And
Swannies love that. They did it to Dorse last year, and unfortunately they kicked 5 goals in 5 minutes, and we all just were victims of the Swannies. They just turned on us, a lot of them. So they are pretty good at it. But I think I don't mind it. I mean, it's a young player who's dominating the competition. So if that's what you want to use to try and rattle him and try and win the game of footy, then I think go for it. But I think I saw a clip that it turned on him pretty quick where Dacos set up a goal and it was on the other way. So good on him. He's a great young kid. He's going to be a superstar.
Gordo, what's happening with the game where you can spoil, keep your eye on the ball, attack the contest, the dude gets and you get 2 weeks?
Crap.
Yeah.
Sorry, is that the advocate for...
No, I just...
Are you fearful where the game's going as a lover of it like I am and as a fan?
Oh, a lot of other people stop going. I'm probably only going because he's still playing. So
when he goes, you're done?
Fishing and golf.
There you go. Yeah.
At the same time?
How hard's it to play the game then?
I'm no good at both, mate.
It's getting hard to play the game, B. Smith.
It is. It's it has been for, I guess, years now with the contest. So there's no more running into contests and just trying to hit blokes or take the footy at full speed. You have to now take that sort of cautious step that if you're going in 100 miles an hour and someone comes through the other way with their head down, you're going to be in trouble. So that was already part of the game. But now, seeing the weekend, this spoiling event that's... I can't believe he's got the 2 weeks. He's gone in for a spoil and unluckily got the guy in the head, which is unfortunate. But
he's going to play this week, Charlie Ballard.
Yeah, we can't start getting suspended for things like that.
No. There is accidents on a footy field.
Absolutely.
And the MRO needs to acknowledge that. Where's it at?
So the appeals board hearing right now, they're not quite deliberating, but they're almost there. They've just stood down for a moment to consider some other things. But Melbourne have been arguing the error of the law in regards to incidental contact. So the law is, in essence, incidental contact in a marking contest will be permitted if a player's sole objective is to contest or spoil the mark, which everyone's known for eons. Melbourne have said, we submit the tribunal was wrong in that law because it sought to limit the true operation of the rule. The AFL have said in response, a player can have the sole object to spoil or mark, but can execute it carelessly, and if they execute it carelessly, they breach the duty of care they owe to the other player and commit an offence.
So Gleeson, who's the AFL tribunal chair, said a reasonable player. Now, you're a reasonable player. Timmy's a reasonable player.
Thank you.
Gordo's... well, a bit above a reasonable player. You can't go into a contest, any reasonable player, and think, would a reasonable player, if he gets this wrong, hit him, I'm going to get a game? What a crock of crap.
Yeah, especially in defensive 50, running back with the flight, it's absolute desperation stakes, and you're just trying to get that footy. You can't then think, how am I going to carelessly or not carelessly run into this pack and try and get it done for my team? So, it's not a great one for me on the weekend.
Gordo, you and I going fishing, mate. Yeah. With Ned McHenry.
Gordo,
he caught a monster yesterday.
I know, big barrel.
Yeah. He'll be talking about that.
Oh, he was. He's showing photos and videos all day today.
You know he has his own fishing show on this channel?
Yeah. Yep,
6:30 for TJM Equip.
Yeah, Wednesdays, I reckon.
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays. Oh, was it Wednesday because we had a holiday?
Oh, come on, mate, get with the program.
My apologies. Look, you've got a lot of fans, and of course the Foodland text. The Foodland live stream. Yes. We've had a request. It's on the Unique Homestyle Foods text line. If the beanie that you brought in for me, thank you. But Kerry and Scott Hodges would like you to put it on, and because they reckon you got a face for radio, mate.
Well, that's not nice.
Well,
is this Bryce Metals?
Bryce Metals,
you know
mate.
them.
8405711. www.bryce.com.au. So don't forget that out there. Gordo's at Bryce Metals. Get on board.
First the steal. Gordo, well done. And your Colts bought was by ASIC Courier, so let's just get that in there.
Correct.
And Peter Shearer, one of their ambassadors, well done.
Superstars, Peter Shearer.
Have a ripper.
Well done, and best of luck on the weekend. ASIC Courier is an SA family business doing great things for your business, no matter what it is. ASIC can deliver it safely and on time, so don't risk it. Ace it with ASIC Couriers. It is 1 minute to 6. News time next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
The all-new Amarok is finally here at Southern Volkswagen Ranella. The all-new Amarok is in stock and ready to test drive. Don't delay. Call Southern Volkswagen now and test drive today. Just 25 minutes from the CBD. Only at Southern Volkswagen. LVD 152780.
Whether a hobby or a full-blown dairy and livestock farm, they all have one thing in common: the need for good quality steel to keep livestock safe and secure. At Norm Metals, we have just that. From rural fencing and gates to droppers, loading ramps and more, you'll find what you need for your farm. And if we don't, we'll source it for you quickly and at the best price. No matter what kind of farm you have, we'll help you out at Norm Metals, 255 Grand Junction Road, Ottawa.
Do you live in a low mobile reception area? A Telstra Go repeater can help maximise your coverage, improving your call experience and giving you a more consistent data performance. And if you're a resident of the Mid-Murray Council area, you may be eligible for a subsidy of up to $888 on your Telstra Go repeater antenna and installation. To learn more, register your interest online or visit us at our Murray Bridge store. Program end date 30th June 2023. Offer ends once funding has been exhausted.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Down to 10 tonight, a possible shower tomorrow, 19 with the 6 o'clock news. I'm Kerry Turner. Family-friendly social policies will be the focus of the federal opposition leader's budget reply speech. Peter Dutton will soon address Parliament to critique Labor's financial blueprint. He argues middle-income earners have been left behind and says government spending is making the cost of living crisis even worse. The Treasurer says Coalition and the Greens are holding up the delivery of the new social and affordable homes. Labor's trying to get its $10 billion housing fund through federal Parliament, but the Greens argue much more must be spent to address the scale of the housing crisis. Jim Chalmers has told Parliament today the minor party in the opposition should stop standing in the way.
Those opposite are engaged in an unholy alliance with the Greens to knock off social and affordable housing in the Senate.
Day 4 of a search on the Eyre Peninsula for missing Queensland woman Julie has ended. The 48-year-old was last seen around 5 o'clock Sunday afternoon at Streaky Bay. Search efforts have so far failed to find her, and after consultation with her family, the resources dedicated to the search have now been reduced, but the search will continue over the coming days using local police and volunteers. A funeral has been held for an Adelaide Hills footballer who died from a head injury after being knocked unconscious during a match last month. 20-year-old Antonio Loacno has been remembered by his mother as her protector and her inspiration, and someone who lived a jam-packed life. It's been revealed his brain will be donated for research to the Australian Sports Brain Bank to help better understand concussion in amateur sports. Australia's Trade Minister will hold his first face-to-face talks with his Chinese counterpart after having arrived in Beijing this afternoon. China has placed bans on a variety of goods after the previous Morrison government criticised its handling of the COVID crisis. The relationship has gradually thawed since the last election, but the opposition's Simon Birmingham says this trip needs to show serious progress.
There have been so many meetings now between the Prime Minister, the Foreign Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister and the Trade Minister with their Chinese counterparts. Talk is great, but it's time for outcomes, especially the removal of those tariffs on Australian barley and wine.
A debt showdown in Congress could force the US president to cancel his trip to Australia. Democrats and Republicans are locked in talks to raise America's debt ceiling. Joe Biden is expected to visit Sydney in just under 2 weeks for the Quad meeting with India and Japan, but he says he'll stay in the US until it's been resolved. And an Australian brewer has created what it believes is the world's first artificially intelligent beer. Modus Brewing is partnering with an AI design group to create a limited release India Pale Ale. The recipe, label, name and tasting notes have all been designed by computer. Now turning to 5AA Sport, and Richmond coach Damien Hardwick is urging fans to respect Tom Stewart in tomorrow's clash with Geelong. The Cats' defender is expected to be booed after he knocked out Dion Prestia when the sides met last year. Cats coach Chris Scott says Stewart has reconciled his actions from last season.
There's appropriate booing and inappropriate booing, so Tom Stewart, when there's a reason for the booing, well, I think Tom would understand that, and I think he'll be okay with it.
North Melbourne coach Alistair Clarkson says no one should begrudge Jason Horne-Francis for wanting to play football in his home state. The Kangaroos face their former teammate and his new club Port Adelaide in Hobart on Saturday. And Adelaide Oval will definitely host Test cricket for the next 3 years. A scheduling deal between the SACA and Cricket Australia has been announced, which will be against the West Indies in January 2024, then India at the end of 2024 and England in 2025. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Ascot Park at a level crossing down Dawes Road near Marion Road, pretty solid delays there at the moment. Hilton motorcycle crash, Sir Donald Bradford Drive near Milner Road, massive delays there. Avoid that if you can on the drive home. I got a twisted traffic light, Hampstead Gardens, that should an earlier crash. Busy right now, the Graveway at Gateway Drive with cameras Old Port Wakefield Road, Virginia and Park Terrace at Bowden. Thinking of buying a bed? Head to Snooze and save half price on selected mattresses and bed frames. The Snooze flash sale is on now, but must end Monday. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
To the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 10 tonight. Tomorrow a possible shower, 19. Mostly sunny for Saturday, 21. And then mostly sunny, 23 on Sunday. Right now it is 16 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
On 9 News, SA's top doctor pleads with parents to help curb children vaping. A moving memorial for a young Adelaide footballer who died after an on-field collision. The smart device slashing winter power bills. How thieves are using a high-tech hack to steal cars. And Adelaide succeeds in finally securing future day-night tests. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News happening now.
Of all the trillions of atoms in the universe, how special it is to think that the atoms of comets, volcanoes, brontosauruses and Shakespeare live on in you, me, chainsaws, pizza ovens, decorative garden meerkats. The middle aisle of Aldi special pies. It's special you can buy every Wednesday and Saturday at Aldi. Good, different.
South Australia's History Festival is here. All May, let the History Trust of South Australia ignite your curiosity and inspire you to wonder. From ghost tours to gardening, architecture, art and ancient wines. Pick up a program from Foodland supermarkets across SA to explore the talks, tours, exhibitions, dinners, dances, wine tastings and much more. With events for all ages and interests across SA. Connect with the sights and stories that make our state great. Book tickets and find out more at festival.history.sa.gov.au.
Okie dokie, here we go. Oh, well, Gordo was walking out and he got me all, the season's changed. The cold, wet weather has definitely arrived.
Oh, well, with the outfit you're wearing,
where this is
going. Yeah, you're looking pretty sharp, and we're going to talk about you because I think you've already known that today.
Can I stand up so I can get it on the Foodland text?
All be upstanding, but Will was wearing that suit this morning, surely.
Exactly the same. Will Goodings, our 5AA co-host with Pambo, who we absolutely love. He's got class. He's athletic, because he runs every morning, apparently.
Very neat and tidy.
Father of one. He pulls off this Peter Shearer suit, and this is the whole thing about me wearing this. These suits fit anyone, whether you're big, small, short, tall, any body shape, with the massive range to choose from. It was so easy. I whizzed down, what was it, Tuesday?
Yeah.
Quick measure up. Goodness me, it was about 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Roy, what colour you like, what shirt, and the staff are incredible. Love it.
Well, somebody said, where's Rowey? I said, don't worry.
He's coming.
He's in good hands. He's a Peter Shearer, not a problem. Now, I think the key to this whole thing, Rowey, is getting fitted correctly.
Correct.
And if you're with the professionals, they'll get it done and they'll put it into the style that you want. They've got a huge range and they'll make sure it suits you, and that's what they've done here.
And it always does fit. The legendary customer service you get when you're in store. Others may talk about it, but the staff at Peter Shearer, look, they actually do live it. The minute I walked in, they didn't know who the hell I was. Everyone said hello. Are you all right? You're looking after it. You got to the counter. You had about 8 people.
Professionals.
They are superb. Shop in store. That's at Rundle Mall, Glenelg, Mount Barker and Gawler. Or you can do this. Shop online at petershearer.com.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
9 minutes after 6, we've been asking who was your first footy hero. 8223 0000. We'll take your call shortly. $100 Baroa hotel voucher to give away tonight. Crows and Port teams have dropped, by the way, in the last 15 minutes. Crows have included Paddy Parnell in their squad, likely to be the replacement for Nick Murray, who's the one out. We'll get the full team at 4:30 tomorrow. Port one change as well. Rioli out with suspension. Francis Evans, the sub, will replace him. So they are the two Crows and Port squads. You might want to have your say on that as well. Time to introduce our next guest, though, and he's thanks to Parafield Airport Liquor, home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Life's better with your pals.
Well, Rowey, I'm really looking forward to this next interview. This man had an incredible career in sport, but he didn't kick a ball, hit a tennis ball. He didn't do any of that. He worked at Channel 7 for over 40 years, both here in Adelaide and Sydney, and oversaw something like 14 Olympic Games, Australian Open tennis, Melbourne Cup, AFL Grand Finals, you name it. What he's seen in sport is amazing. We're going to interview him now. Andy Kay, welcome to the show.
Hello, gentlemen. That's a pretty big intro, but I actually want to tell you, I wasn't a bad basketballer in my day.
I did hear that. I did hear that.
It's not a time for showboat nanny because you're Captain Modesty. So how good were you?
Yeah.
Oh, very average. I did I toured with the Sixers once on an overseas trip.
Wow.
If they were down to 4 players, I was going to get a run. And the thing is, they took about 25 on tour, so I never got a run.
Oh, well done, mate. Anyway.
Modesty.
Hey, you've started at Channel 7. Now, tell me this. I got the background on this one. It was a 17-day contract that turned into 40 years. What happened there?
Yeah, well, it's true. I was actually unemployed. I'd worked on KG show when he first came to radio, and that was in the 70s. And stupidly thought I could retire in 84 and decided to write a book. So I was sitting at home and someone rang me. Remember that thing called the telephone?
Yeah.
And it was a guy called Bob Harnett. People might remember him.
Yeah.
He was going to the Los Angeles Olympics and he said, look, we need someone to write a bit for us in TV. And I said, well, I've never actually worked in television. He said, don't worry, it's not hard. You can do it. And it's for 17 days. Well, the short story is he really didn't come back and I never left until today.
That's incredible.
What a story.
That is an amazing story. Mate, you ended up GM and the rest of it. You did 14 Olympic Games. What was your first one then? Was it Seoul in 88?
No, well, I worked on LA and Seoul, but without going. So the first one I actually went to was Barcelona. In 92. Yeah. And I always said it was my favourite until Sydney came along.
Yeah.
And then I probably said, oh, well, that was my favourite till Beijing came along. But they're all so different. So, no, very, very fortunate, me.
Yeah. Your owner, Kerry Stokes, said you had an incredible passion and an eye for detail. Did that make you a perfectionist, Andy?
Oh, no, I actually... you know, it's funny. I'd like to think I was relatively lazy, but if I had an ability, it was to get people to work at a maximum level and actually be the best they could be and be the best they wanted to be. And so we used to have you'd go into Olympic Games and it would be anywhere between 600 people working on one games to maybe 150 we'd take overseas for a Winter Olympic Games. But I used to write the production manual forward and always say, look, this will work if no one cares who gets the credit.
Yeah.
And I've never changed my mind on that. If it's not about ego but about work and making the athlete shine, then we're all going to do a really good job. And I still believe that to this day.
Yeah.
No one cares who's getting awards and sugars, stuff like that. It'll work better.
It was your talent making people shine, believing in them. Andy, give us a couple of the names of guys that you're most proud of working with.
You could never go past McAvaney in terms of the ultimate professional. And it's funny, I still see him quite a bit. The way he works at his craft today is no different to how he worked. And we actually met at 5DN in the late 70s.
Wow.
He was doing a minute editorial on KG show and I was producing. To see Bruce function now, people really would have no idea how much work goes into what he does. And, let's just take one quick example, like Kathy Freeman's 400-metre race, at the Sydney Olympic Games. He would have prepared her winning, her coming second, her third, her coming eighth, and her not finishing the race being injured. But people forget that in that Games, he called like 25 400-metre races, and he called 100 100-metre races and 100 200-metre races. They all remember the finals, but he was calling non-stop. And I tell you what, there's 15,000 athletes you haven't seen for 4 years. Yeah. That is a phenomenal effort. So to watch him operate set the standard. But there are other people that I'm so proud of because they started from not much. And if you take Francesca Comani as an example, I was producing the Melbourne Cup and she was the stable hand for her father. She was the strapper for a horse that came second in the Melbourne Cup, and I saw this girl crying in the mounting yard, and we interviewed her, and I thought, gee, I reckon you could make her a star. I sent her an email. She didn't respond for 3 months because she didn't believe what I was saying, and then I said, well, I'll show you how much I mean it. Here's a ticket. Come to Australia. I'll meet you in Melbourne in 2 days' time. We'll do a deal. Have a look at her now. She's hosting on CNN. Yeah. She's hosting in England. Oh, phenomenal performer.
Well,
so I'm pretty proud of her.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one that you've probably failed on, Andy.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, I reckon you might have been involved in a pilot that was called, I think, the Pepsi Sports Panel that featured Chris Dittmar, Tim Jennifer, Stephen Rowe and Rachel Sporn. That one didn't go ahead. I don't know what went wrong.
I'm still waiting, Andy.
Was it the talent?
Look, I remember a few years ago in Sydney, probably the most famous program manager of all was retiring, and I was at his retirement, and he said, if you make 6 out of 10 shows that are successful, you are a superstar. And I remember thinking, my God, I'm glad you're not my heart doctor. The public's view of television and what they like, if you could pick what they like, you would be an absolute genius. It's impossible. You look at some stuff and you go, how could anyone watch that? And it absolutely rates off scale. And then you look at some other, be they drama or sport, no one's watching. You go, what's wrong with people? Okay. But everyone's different. So, sorry, boys, it just didn't work.
Well, I was going to say, answer the question, Andy.
It just did.
It just did.
Well, it doesn't matter anymore. You're going all right now.
Oh, whatever.
And, mate, there must be a lot of off-camera stories that you would have. On-camera, of course. I remember hearing Chris Dittmar tell the infamous story of the 2000 Sydney Olympics where they needed somebody to call the judo because it looked like Lauren Burns was going to win the gold medal, and he got pulled out of a pub in Sydney to go and do it, and he knew nothing about it and just had to sit in a booth. But there must be lots of off-camera stories that you would like to, reminisce on.
There would be so many. I mean, it's a really interesting thing. If you look at what people do for a living, they actually do it every day. And then you look at something like the Summer Olympics, they come along every 4 years. So, if I was EP of, 4 or 5 Summer Games, it's not like I had a file of taekwondo commentators or wrestling commentators. There's no living in this. And it's like, okay, who can I find who actually knows something about the sport and can speak clearly and describe what's happening to the viewer and make them understand, et cetera, et cetera. Then you've got to remember, there's 36 sports. And then you've got to travel them all overseas. You never have a commentator on his own. So you're up to 72 commentators alone, and it's an expensive gig. So, look, behind the scenes, never a day passed without something going wrong. There was one fellow, we were in Barcelona, and he was calling the whitewater rafting.
Oh, yeah.
And anyway, he went in there and we pulled it off tube because the course was miles out of Barcelona, so we actually brought the pictures into the 7 base in Spain, and he called it off the television. Anyway, he did the first run and disappeared, and so we got time for the second run. We couldn't find him. Got time for the third run, and this girl from Australia, Melbourne girl, I'm trying to think of her name, won the silver medal. Well, he never called it because he thought the first run was her real first run. It was actually a practice. She came last.
Oh, no.
So he disappeared and didn't call the one event he went to Barcelona for.
Oh, no.
As far as I know, he never worked on another game.
No, he wouldn't have, Andy.
Don't go missing.
He would have got clipped. No. What about the AFL?
Oh, gee, it's a really interesting thing. You know, the AFL is such a frantic thing to produce, and I used to say to the guys who were in the truck, so what did you think? And they said, we're too busy. And I said, so you didn't watch it. And everybody is that game is so fast. There are so many cameras cutting. You are talking to so many, grand final. The commentary team's nearly 12 or 14 people cutting at the same time. It's just phenomenal to be involved in. I remember when I took over as EP of the AFL, and I went to Melbourne with my Sydney boss, and he lined up all the commentators, and there was some serious AFL superstars, and he was telling them what to do, and you should have seen the looks on their faces, like, who the hell do you think you are? And it was very much a Melbourne-Sydney thing, because it's not really a Sydney-Melbourne thing. And I remember his comeback too, and I'm telling you, these blokes were serious footballers who had retired. And he said, you played for 18 years and you listened to your coach every day. Can I tell you now, you've just been drafted and I'm the coach. Mm-hmm. And they just stood there and listened to every word from that day on.
Channel 7 icon Andy Kay, our guest, a significant career and contribution, Andy, no question. You're a journalist by trade. Is there a book? Do I sniff a book? Andy's 40 or?
No.
You thought about it?
No. Okay. Look, can I tell you, I remember 5 or 10 years ago, Dawn Fraser wrote a book, and Dawn's got to be in her 80s now, and she told some stories that really upset a lot of people, and I'm thinking, shivers, at my age, do I want to be a grumble guts? I actually don't, unless I can praise them, I'd rather not talk about them. And who's going to buy a book that praises people? They'd rather buy Prince Harry's book. So, no. And it's time-consuming. I'm going fishing.
Oh, Andy, a man after my own heart.
Yeah, gee whiz.
Fisho.
Just jumped up. Yeah, he loved that moment. Yeah. Hey, mate, congratulations on a magnificent career. You are one of our pals. We're going to give you a nice little Shiraz to remind you of myself and Rowey.
Thank you.
It's called the Bogan.
Oh, no.
So all the best with that.
Oh, I know it very well.
He knows it very well. It's a good drop, let me tell you, guys. Thanks to all the boys at Parafield Airport Liquor.
It's starting to bother me that everyone buys me the Bogan. But I do know it, and it's a fabulous glass of wine.
You're a man of class, mate. Congratulations again, and thanks for your time.
Thank you both. I appreciate that.
Oh, wonderful guest. GM of Channel 7 Adelaide for a very, very long time. Andy Kay, one of our pals when you're after that special drop. Trust your pals to have it. Parafield Airport Liquor, home of all the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Life is better with your pals. An update from the appeal board for Jacob Van Ruin of Melbourne. They are now deliberating. So hopefully in the next 10-15 minutes we will have an answer on where that one sits. His 2-game suspension. Is it none? Is it 1? Is it 2? Where will it sit? 23 after 6. We'll find out next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA's legend of the airwaves, Leon Biner, joins Matthew Pantelis Tuesday mornings. Leon shares his thoughts on what's going on in SA, thanks to NRG Solar. Don't spend another year paying high power bills. Visit nrgsolar.com.au today.
Lads, where are we thinking for our same race multi?
Let's see. With Ladbrokes, we can place one at Doomben, Moonee Valley.
Bet on more tracks and race codes than ever before with the Ladbrokes Same Race Multi. T's and C's apply. See website for details. You win some, you lose more. We're here with Toop and Toop's Bronte manual. Now, Bronte, we've just been hit with another interest rate rise. What does that mean to the market?
Well, we always knew there'd be another rate rise or two. If rates settle around that 6% mark for the consumer, buyers will know exactly where they stand and will be able to pursue properties with some confidence.
But what does that mean then for property prices?
The market, it's all about supply and demand. And right now, there are a lot more buyers than homes for sale. While that's still the case, there's a great opportunity to achieve a premium price for your home.
So would you say now's a good time to sell, or should we wait a bit?
It's always a good time to sell when demand outweighs supply. Right now, buyers are competing for your home rather than your home competing for buyers. But you still need to make sure you're working with an agent who really knows their stuff.
To find out what your home is worth in the current market, visit toop.com.au.
You know what's become a huge deal at Mawson Lakes Mazda? Our end of financial year deals. Want to know a secret? We can give you amazing prices right now. Yep. Mawson Lakes Mazda is clearing new and demo stock at prices you'll normally get in June. And they're available for immediate delivery. Don't wait. Get in before the end of financial year rush. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
G'day, it's Rory Sloan. Good leaders always look to support local. Like Leader Computers, Australia's largest Australian-owned PC manufacturer, based right here in South Australia. Having a world-class manufacturer of computers is a big win for our state, providing jobs and local support you simply can't get from overseas companies. For the latest Intel and Microsoft-based computers at great pricing with the huge benefit of local support, find your local dealer at leadersystems.com.au.
Were you a fan of Roy Orbison, Simon and Garfunkel, Frankie Valli, Cliff Richard, or the Bee Gees? Well, don't miss the all-new Robertson Brothers 1960s variety TV show with special guest stars Simon Brooke McLaughlin from the Jersey Boys and the #1 Roy Orbison tribute artist Dean Bourne. The Robertson Brothers 1960s variety TV show.
Her Majesty's Theatre, Adelaide, June 29.
For the very first time, Mary Poppins is flying into Adelaide. The critically acclaimed new production arrives this July. Don't miss out. Book at Ticketek.
At Coles, you'll find a great range of Mother's Day gift ideas to treat Mum. Like half-price box chocolates, including Cadbury Roses box chocolate 450 gram, now just $8. That's half price and only at Coles. Offer ends Tuesday.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
26 after 6. Get to your first footy heroes very shortly. 8223 0000, and all footy season will be hitting the local clubs for our Kick for Cash with the $1,000 on the line every week for a male and female from our weekly club. This is all for Adelaide Footy League. They just need to kick a footy into our Rowey and Timmy G wheelie bin. Tonight we're out at the Golden Grove Footy Club with Tommy Wren and 9 News. It's all thanks to Adelaide Footy League, strengthening communities through footy.
Good work there, Sam. Well, who is your first ever football hero? Let's find out. Roberts. G'day, Robert.
Timmy, how are you?
Good, my friend.
Good. When you said about Bubbles, I knew his brother years ago. I worked in hotels, and Peter...
Peter, yes.
Yeah, he used to be a wine rep.
That's right, yes, I remember that.
Yeah, and I met him, and then I used to go to the footy, and I'd sit on the wing there on the outer, and Bubbles would be behind me.
Ah, there you
and he'd always sit on the outer, and he'd sit right down the last seat, right on the wing, and he used to tap me on the shoulder and say, "No, you shouldn't be there. You shouldn't do this." And I'd say, I didn't know anything about football, like, where positioning was. But my favourite footballer was Brucey Light.
Oh, yeah, number 26. He was a lot of favourites there, Robert.
Getting a few photos.
Good choice,
how
mate.
How did you get the name Bubbles?
Bubbles Obst? I don't know. I don't know the origins of his nickname.
Did he look like a bubble?
Yeah, probably, because he was round and rotund and come out the back pocket like a steam train.
Like
maybe
bubble.
that's where he got it from.
Yeah, okay. Well done, Rob. Hello, Ken.
G'day, boys. My favourite was I've just turned 80.
Beautiful.
So I've been, thank you. I've been around a good while, and I'm a Sturt barracker, and my favourite player back then was Roger Rigney.
Yeah, Roger.
He was known as the Wombat.
Yeah.
He played and you know why he was called the Wombat?
No.
Because he'd dive into a pack and he'd come out with a ball.
There you go.
And he played 211 games. He kicked 250 goals. And he played in every one of the premierships that Sturt won in 1966 through to 1970.
Five in a row.
And the big thing about him was, you remember a bloke called Neville Hayes that played for Port Adelaide?
Yes, we do.
Yes,
Chicken?
you do. Well, yeah, exactly. I was going to say chicken, but you said it, so I will. Roger took him on one day, despite his size. After a game, there was a bit of a kerfuffle, and Roger took him on.
Oh, there you go.
And the Wombat won.
Yep. And here we go, I don't know how many years later, and I only found out about 6 months ago, Roger lives about 200 metres down the road from where I live.
Stop it.
Oh, so you've gone and said g'day, surely, Ken.
I have. I bumped into him, and I said, I think I know you.
Unbelievable.
And I said, what's your name? And he said, I'm Roger Rigney. And I said, well, I'll be... I nearly said...
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Ken, because you've shared that story, how about you take the $100... You take the $100 Barrow hotel voucher
well done,
and take Roger with you and shout him lunch.
Thank you very much. I'll go down and I'll tell you what, before you hang up, I reckon you should get him on where is he now?
Yeah, good call, Ken. Good call.
Nice. Ken, done.
Yeah, well done, Ken. And when you've shouted him lunch, you say Timmy Ginniver gave me that dirty pork blood.
and if you do want to talk to him on where is he now, I can go down and talk to him.
Yeah,
Ken.
ask
Set
him
it up.
to do that. We'll put you back to our producer. We'll get all your details, but
Great
mate,
call.
enjoy that. Well done.
Well done.
I love that, Footy Heroes.
Awesome.
You know what we might have to
Great.
do down the track or tomorrow or the next day, because it's Mother's Day tomorrow. Ask people, do they still have their autograph book?
Yeah.
Because I had an autograph book, but now it's selfies and...
Yeah, it's a bit different.
What was your first autograph?
Era, but your first autograph would be...
You used to have to stand in line. You wouldn't...
Mine was at a pie and parsley night. They were very popular back in those days at the junior club.
Who signed it?
It was two players, Andy Portleisha and Max James.
Stop it.
Still see both of them today, and I've told them that story
how
many a
good.
time, and I think they say,
Well done.
enough beers for you, Timmy.
Speak of standing, Rowey, one last look at the camera up there in the back corner. You're standing up in your Peter Shearer suit. How good's that on the Foodland live stream?
$1 million.
Looking fantastic. Every
Even
Thursday,
someone like me looks great in a Peter Shearer suit.
Yeah, Peter Shearer.
Just short of $1 million.
Oh.
Just short.
What's that?
Just short of $1 million.
Yeah, exactly. I was hoping you'd get the number.
Even chubbies look good in a Peter Shearer.
You're looking fantastic, Rowey. With more stores closed home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland on our live stream. It is 28 to 7. We have Caroline Wilson next.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. The Power have developed a hard edge in 2023.